iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It happens every day. Regular people are winning every single day. Whether it's $500 or $50,000, anybody can win. Because when they win, I feel like I'm winning.
Hi, my name is Kong. I won over $100,000 playing Baccarat. You can pick banker or player. If you pick the right side, the odds in your favor.
My name is Janelle, and I won a brand new BMW. I screamed, I hollered, that's me, that's me.
Anybody could win at Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa.
Must be 21 to play slots or table games. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Monday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we do have a pretty darn fun show set up for you today. We'll get you caught up on what's happening out there in the world with the actual woke news. Deb is back for that. 4 o'clock hour sports with our buddy Brandon Kravitz from 96.9 The Game. 5 o'clock hour, we'll do trivia, and of course, we'll end it all up with Raw's Thoughts. Our buddy Ray Trindley from TK Law. Your calls, texts, and talkbacks all day long. Welcome to the program. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and dangerous co-host, Miss Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Yay! Straight ahead, producer Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
Comedy alien Ross Padgett.
How wild are belly buttons?
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Find us easily on social, Instagram, Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show, and Twitter just at Jim Colbert Show, and of course all day, every day at JimColbertLive.com. There is no contest. It's all done. We wound up with 7 winners here in Central Florida. Again, pumping $7,000 into the pockets of our listeners is never a bad thing. A short one for us, though. Usually we are well into double digits.
Yeah,
So you guys failed us.
Yeah, they did. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's hard to spin that.
I'm going to put the blame right on their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe when we retool this, you guys will pay attention this time and get that money. Yeah. Well, Deborah, I have to tell you, your absence was absolutely felt.
Well,
I mean,
thank you.
Absolutely felt. It's so good to have you back. How was your trip? You came in here, for one thing, it kind of sucked. The cafe across the street where we eat sometimes was absolutely packed. So you went over to get lunch, and it took you like 35 minutes to get lunch. I didn't get to talk to you about your trip. How was it, man?
It was wonderful. We had a really good time. Went back to Savannah, took an architectural tour this time.
So when you booked that, they have a thing. It's not just you did the research on okay, I like this building. There are actual tours where it's specifically to look at buildings.
Oh yeah, because the architecture of Savannah just spans several different years. I learned what federal means, what Regency means. I learned the purpose for louvered shutters.
Oh, cool.
Why you see those on a lot of southern homes in a city, like Savannah.
Right.
Got to go again through Chippewa Square, of course, where Forrest Gump sat on the park bench talking about life as a box of chocolates.
Really?
Yeah, that's right there in the heart of Savannah.
That's very cool.
Having been in January and then gone back again in May, it's Chris and I realized that this is our place.
Oh, really? That's
This is
awesome.
our place.
How cool is it to find something like that? We had that with New Orleans. And the only reason we stopped going there is because, believe it or not, we don't want to get murdered. So we stopped going to New Orleans. It got a little shaky for us. But we always look for that new place like that. We love New Mexico, but it's so cool to have a spot like that, isn't it?
Well, it is. And the other thing is I have always assumed that you kind of had to have a real interest in architecture to really kind of get anything from those kinds of tours.
Okay.
So I know, Jack, you at one point were planning on studying architecture.
Yes.
So I always thought, that had to be something you wanted to do as a degree because,
Right.
I don't know a lot of I know Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah, sure.
Go on an architecture tour. In any city that you visit, we learned so much about the city of Chicago, starting with the fact that it was actually built on what used to be a garbage dump.
Right.
Right. In Savannah, you realize the connection between St. Augustine, the role that Savannah played to keep the Spanish from getting to Charleston.
Wow, really? That's so cool.
And where'd you come across this? I'm curious how you kind of fell into doing an architecture tour.
Well, Chris had done a lot of the research on it, and it turns out our tour guide is a SCAD graduate. So SCAD is Savannah College of Art and Design.
Nationally recognized.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
He was worth every penny, and then he gave you a card with everything that you learned about.
Wow.
That is cool. He took notes for you.
Yeah, exactly, and reminded you about it. We've always found that ghost tours are sometimes some of the best ways to learn the real nitty-gritty history of a place that you visit, but the architectural tours are just as cool.
You know, Brad Pitt's into that. He's like real big into the architecture thing. He would tour cities like that and do that same thing.
Yeah, we did the ghost tour last time in Savannah. We're going back in June.
Are you?
Yeah, so I may look into this architecture tour as well.
Definitely.
Oh, that's right.
Garden tours, architecture tour. Even if you just take an afternoon to go to lunch at Forsyth Park.
Yes.
Collins Quarter Restaurant is right there. And then you just walk through, you check out the fountain, there's musicians, there's artists, there's...
And what's so cool about Savannah, it's only 4 hours away.
It is literally half the time it would take to go to the Florida Keys. You are in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, man.
And it is a beautiful city.
Was it crowded?
It was busy, but it wasn't crowded.
What unmanageable?
It was manageable. The restaurants were great. The rooftop bars were phenomenal. And it's a city where you feel good indulging in drinking and food because all you do is walk from one end of the city to the next. There are trolleys,
right,
free trolleys that will pick you up in front of your inn, but there's so much to see. You almost rob yourself of little knick-knacky stores, you know.
I got 2 questions for you. Did you stay in the same Airbnb as you did last time?
We did.
Really?
Yes,
you really
we
like
did.
it?
We Forsyth Park Inn.
Wow,
they had a very important test yesterday, actually, but we got to stay in room number 7 with a fireplace, a huge 4-poster bed, seating area, mini bar area, clawfoot tub.
Was it expensive?
Not as expensive as any hotel you would stay in around here.
Yeah.
And the other question is, have you read or listened to the books on tape for Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil yet?
No, I haven't. And that's still something we plan to take in when we go back to Savannah. But what we realized with the second trip was that Forrest Gump was on the night before we left. And then it was on again. Like, whenever you see that scene, we're like, so Forrest Gump is actually our movie for Savannah. Because
that's cool.
That's, you know.
Now, true or not true, when you actually pull into the city, Paula Deen hands you a pound of bacon.
Or a stick of butter.
A stick of butter. No, we wanted to eat at her restaurant. We didn't get a chance this time.
Yeah.
But we ate at what they call, remember this name, Jack, the Old Pink House.
Oh,
it's also a very, very haunted location.
Yeah, I've been there.
You have.
I've never been to Savannah, but I've eaten there.
Appetizers, lunch, dinner, dessert.
The whole menu's good.
But it was a really, really good romantic experience. Just a great restaurant. Very difficult to get reservations, so it's not a bad idea to actually book it now.
I've heard you have to get a reservation at Wawa in Savannah.
Like in some cases,
everything's like New Orleans. Everything's packed perpetually. It's booked.
It depends on what time of the year that you're going. We were able to get a 7:30 reservation on a Friday night.
Damn, really?
Surprised that was able to happen because everybody warns you, get your reservations early.
Really?
Yeah. So if you like to walk, you like good restaurants, you love old Southern charm.
We like all that.
Oh, and the Southern charm, and that's part of the reason why we like going there. I mean, that we'll try other inns, but the staff at this Forsyth Park Inn, plus just the inn itself with that huge Southern veranda where they serve you breakfast in the morning.
Now, I don't know anything about. I am an architecture idiot. I do know the words.
I didn't know any.
And I think I know a little bit, but that's the stuff that gets you in trouble. With that said, did they go over anything like the antebellum designs, or is that specific to homes, or can that also be applied to like commercial properties as well?
Well, yeah, they go through the elements of that. Like what I learned. Okay, have you ever heard of the Regency period?
I have. I mean, you know,
all that means is that it was English. That's all it means. And so as soon as we became a country in 1776,
I see.
The architecture changed from being one of Regency to one of federal because now we're our own federal government, our own government.
Oh, she got smarter on us, Jimmy.
I mean, you would think that would be like our coast and our cities would particularly be interesting with architecture because of all the we're a nation of immigrants. So all those, all of those different cultures that come together with those different styles and designs, all of that could be applied to multiple buildings in a small area.
They have the third oldest Jewish congregation in the country, with the oldest Torah said to have been written on deerskin from the 1400s.
God dang.
So, yeah.
That's crazy. I want to go there.
It's a fun time to god dang something.
The funny thing is I was just talking to my wife the other day, and my memory, by the way, I don't know if you guys have know this. It's on vacation, has been since about 2009. She said, we've been to Savannah. And I'm like, you sound like a crazy person. I've never been to Savannah because I haven't had any of these experiences you're talking about.
It's that bad.
It is that bad. But we were coming back from, I know exactly what happened. We were coming back from South Carolina. We'd planned to stay in Savannah. But if you guys remember, like a massive cold front with freezing rain came through.
Oh, yeah.
And that next day when we woke up, the high was going to be 40 and pouring rain. So we just piled up and came home. We never really got to enjoy the city.
You still would have enjoyed it if you had gone.
Yeah, maybe
so. You really would have. It's a great walking town. You can go and
We got to get up there. I got to surprise my wife with
that. But that's cool, though. I think more couples and, honestly, more families should do that.
Have a spot?
Get a second city. I know mine is St. Pete with my wife. Hey, for some strange reason, St. Pete, I get drunk, things go down.
We're kind of looking for that right now. We're actually in search of that right now. We kind of do that. We will do the cruise thing in between sometimes, but we'd like to stay. We are going to a European trip soon, but there's so many little cool spaces to find here in the States that are like Savannah, like Greenville, South Carolina, other cool little Charlotte, Asheville, all those little cities are kind of blowing up, and they're fun kind of regional tourism. Doesn't cost a fortune,
Well, you can't take St. Pete.
Okay, buddy, I won't. I promise you can have it.
All right. And you can't take Savannah either.
Jack, you done now? It's funny because Jack used to have one of these as well. Jamaica used to be Jack's thing.
It used to be. Savannah, St. Augustine was a big one for us that we've been to a few times, but we are actually kind of scouting some new places on our anniversary in June. We're hitting a couple places in North Carolina.
Yeah, nice.
And then then kind of parsing out the drive, and that's why we're going to be in Savannah for a few days as well, because it's kind of halfway back.
Yeah.
So we'll do that a few days, and then each day is a little more manageable for driving.
We've done mountain stuff, we've done West Coast stuff, we've done the St. Augustine thing. So we're kind of looking for something. We've been up to Maine and done the whole snowmobiling in Maine thing. I could never get enough of Maine. I think that's one of the best. For the dollar and for the food and all the cool stuff that happens up there. Not to mention, it's just friggin' gorgeous. It's one of the best deals out there for a getaway.
I'm so pumped for you to go to Europe, though.
Yeah.
God, that's going to be so wild. The guy's name, his nickname is the Eagle, and he's going over to Europe. American Werewolf in London.
I'll probably get abducted by 3 Turkish dudes. You never see me again.
You might join them. You'll be like, man, they're having a great time.
All right, 407-916.
Got room for one more.
1041. You can text us at 77031. Like I said earlier, sports coming up with Brandon Kravitz. We also have Ray Trentley in a little bit. Plus, this week, all week long, for trivia, Aerosmith Black Crowes tickets all week long.
Yep.
For our 545 trivia segment. You can't mention that, or I can't beat that anywhere as well. So plenty of cool stuff to talk about today. I know. Deb being back has got me very excited. I'm sorry.
You can mention it. You can mention.
Let me just tell you what. I got bludgeoned with conversation with that thing over here.
Oh, did you really?
Bludgeoned. You know how we can go an entire day, go to break, and you and I just kind of live our own lives?
Right.
You know where that doesn't happen? When you have a human puppy. That's why that doesn't happen. When you literally have a human puppy. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
You're just going to be silent for 6 minutes?
Yes, 100%.
Just locked in a room?
Watch me put a clinic on of 6-minute silence all day long. You get a front row seat.
I swear, every break we Freaky Friday, I'm over here trying to get a conversation, and this guy's looking at, Instagram reels.
All right, 407-916-1041.
He really misses TikTok, you guys. Cut him some slack.
I'm dying.
He's really...
Oh, my God. I literally set my phone against my vein to see if it would work last night. I'm like, soak it in. Nothing happened.
I kind of feel you, though, Jim, is because, going from TikTok to Instagram Reels is like going from whole milk to soy protein.
Yeah.
So, it's not quite the same. It's a
not
substitute.
Filling.
It's like Trader Joe's to a fruit stand.
Yeah.
Oh, my God almighty. It's not even the same. I mean, look, kudos, Instagram. You're giving her a shot. But you just aren't ratchet enough yet. Now, maybe wait a little bit. Miss a couple payments, then you'll be TikTok.
I'm pissed. Where are the parking lot fines?
What's coming up for news?
Well, speaking of TikTok, the governor signs bills targeting foreign influence, while Florida Senator Marco Rubio says Florida's Space Coast could play a key role in defending the free world. And we'll tell what the latest shows are that are affected by the writer's strike.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
All of that and more coming up next during Woke News.
All right, Deb, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec with Deb's news and more of The Jim Colbert Show.
Need to hear someone else's opinions before reconciling your own internal phobias? We got you, fam. Hey, Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Looking at some slow traffic this afternoon on I-4 as you drive eastbound between the 408 and Robinson Street and between 536 and Central Florida Parkway. Westbound delays reported on the interstate between the Beach Line and 535. No slowdowns or delays north or southbound this afternoon on Florida's Turnpike. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Biggie Bag. When you think Wendy's Biggie Bag, think your go-to meal deal with your choice of JBC, double stack or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. Biggie hits every time. So grab a Biggie Bag today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Orlando is growing, and Ocean Bank is here to bring you even more possibilities with our new branch right in the heart of the city. Visit us in downtown Orlando today. Ocean Bank, member FDIC.
Here's what a Fence Outlet customer has to say about their experience.
After the hurricanes destroyed our old fence, we took the advice of our neighbor and called Fence Outlet. They were fast and professional, and we love our new fence.
Check them out at fenceoutlet.com.
And now, a couple of corny facts. Number 1, there are about 800 kernels in each ear of corn. Number 2, an ear of corn always has an even number of rows. And number 3, Florida sweet corn season ends in June? June? What? Why didn't anybody tell me that it was gonna...
Oh, well, I guess that's a wrap.
It's sweet corn season in Florida. Stop on your way home and get some before it's gone. See more seasonal produce at followfreshfromflorida.com.
After an accident, it's important to hire an attorney right away. Evidence can disappear quickly. Sure, you could wait to hire an attorney later and see how things turn out, but delays never make a case better. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. JustCallMo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Welcome to Pollo Tropical. Would you like to try our new coconut shrimp?
Coconut shrimp, coconut shrimp, shrimp and the coconut. Coconut shrimp, coconut shrimp.
Coco y camarón.
Pollo is serving up perfectly golden, sweet and savory coconut shrimp in a bowl, platter, or on the side with our pineapple rum sauce. We're going coconuts for the all-new coconut shrimp, only at Pollo Tropical.
Coconut shrimp, coco y camarón.
At International Diamond Center, we're all about family. And no one plays a more important role in the life of any family than Mom. She's the rock, the hero, the one that holds it all together. So we invite you to help us celebrate the mothers in our lives with the perfect Mother's Day gift and a little something extra. We've put together a special collection of jewelry just for Mom. We've set aside these carefully selected items so there's no guesswork. You can stop in, shop with ease, and get Mom a timeless gift she's sure to love. And to make it really special, with any purchase of $249 or more, we'll give you a $50 spa gift card so she can use it to treat herself to a day of pampering and relaxation. So come join us at IDC. Help us say a big thank you to the mothers in our lives with a gorgeous bracelet, maybe a pair of diamond earrings, a colored gemstone ring, or a piece from our Perfect Love collection. Buy the jewelry and we'll throw in the $50 spa treat at no charge. Happy Mother's Day from International Diamond Center. Get showroom directions, store hours, and more now at shopidc.com.
It's Ram season, which means it's time to serve with Ram 1500, Ram 3500, and Ram TRX. Hurry in now for great deals on the trucks that are built to serve. Right now during Ram season, get 10% below MSRP on the purchase of a 2023 Ram 1500 Laramie. Not compatible with lease offers or with any other consumer incentive offers. Contact dealer for details. Take retail delivery by 5/31/23.
One day you're serving in the military, and then the next day you come home and you're dealing with an injury.
Britton is in recovery from an addiction to prescription opioids.
My opioid misuse and need got so strong. Addiction is hard. You're not going to fix it on your own. You have to reach out for help. The recovery side of it is amazing. You get to a place where you're proud of yourself again.
If you or someone you know is struggling, there is hope. Recovery is possible. Visit cdc.gov/RxAwareness.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, our members are at the very heart of our mission. That's why this Military Appreciation Month, instead of hearing about free active duty checking accounts, great rates, and exclusive member deals, we thought you might want to hear a special thank you message from your friends and family.
Hi! Special shout outs to my dad, grandfather, brother, and uncles for serving their country. You are my heroes. Happy Military Appreciation Month.
Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Army Captain Cody DeWald. I want to thank you for all that you do for our family, son, and happy Military Appreciation Month.
Hi, wishing my husband, retired U.S. Navy Lieutenant Commander David Day, a happy Military Appreciation Month. Thank you for being our hero.
And from all of us here, happy Military Appreciation Month. Commitment connects us. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
We now return to the Jim Colbert Show. Already in progress.
Hey guys, Deb, I just want to let you know how happy I am to hear your voice. I mean, seriously, with every fiber of my being, it's great that you're back. Have a good show.
Deb, you don't know the story behind that. Not good. I'll tell you about it in a minute. I said on the air the other day, if I never hear the saying, with every fiber of my being again, it'll be that much too soon. And now all these jackasses call in and try to punk me with it.
Isn't it funny that you hate that statement with every fiber?
That's genuinely incredible. Genuinely incredible.
Genuinely incredible. Yeah.
Hit you so hard.
Let me say this about that. Let me say this about that.
407-916-1041. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show here on Real Radio.
Don't get mad. We're obviously joking.
Jack is here.
Hi there.
Ross is here too. Anyway, let's get the news. Here's Deb.
And now, it's time for Woke News. It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole woke on the Jim Colbert Show.
All right, let's do this, people. Say it with me. Woke News brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don.
And better than last week.
Yes, already. We can shut it down right now. You win.
All right, well, we have a lot to get to today, starting off with the fact that the Governor Ron DeSantis has ordered flags lowered across the state. I'm getting tired of these. In honor of the Texas Outlet Mall shooting victims. Now, authorities say 8 people were killed, 7 others hurt when a man opened fire at the outdoor shopping area in the Dallas suburb of Allen on Saturday. 33-year-old man, no arrest record, no known mental health problems, was working as a security guard. The gunman was shot and killed by a police officer who just happened to be at the mall on another call.
Yep.
Talk about miracles. Flags here in Florida will remain at half staff until sunset on Thursday.
If flags go half staff for mass shootings, I mean,
why are they ever? At top. Yeah.
Like I'm not saying I'm not trying to disregard how much of a tragedy that shooting is, but
I made that very joke yesterday while at SeaWorld because it was at half mast. My wife was wondering why, and then we just kind of collectively at the same time said, "Well, might as
just
well
leave it there.
Just cut the pole to that length."
Yeah, exactly. Legislation aimed at protecting Florida from the influence of China is now law. Appearing in the Tampa area this morning, Governor DeSantis signed bills preventing people from China and 6 other nations from buying farmland or property near military bases or critical infrastructure unless they are U.S. citizens or a permanent resident. Another bill blocks state universities and colleges from entering into partnerships and agreements with China, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Russia, Syria, and Venezuela. A third bill is aimed at blocking apps, I'm so sorry, Jimmy, like TikTok from government and educational institutions, servers, and devices. Now, in the meantime, Florida's Space Coast could play a key role in defending the free world from China's advances.
Okay.
That's what Senator Marco Rubio wrote yesterday in the Orlando Sentinel. Just in case you didn't read the article, he says over the next 7 years, the Space Coast plans to upgrade Cape Canaveral to accommodate for what could be daily launches. Those launches could include manned spaceflight to military and commercial communications and surveillance payloads. Rubio adds Beijing is seeking to overtake us in space and then use that advantage to weaken the free world. So to prevent that, he says we must invest in Cape Canaveral because it's the foundation on which the next generation of space innovations will depend.
Yeah, please make that 40 miles away a giant target. That's a joke, but go ahead.
Oh, I know. But, and I mean, we've already known it always has been. I mean, Lockheed Martin has always been. Walt Disney World, Universal. All right. Speaking of stuff from the Space Coast, former astronaut Buzz Aldrin is being promoted now on Friday. The New Jersey native, what up, Jersey?
Yep.
Was made an honorary member of the U.S. Space Force and an honorary brigadier general in the U.S. Air Force. For those who do not remember, the 93-year-old was the second person to walk on the moon and the famous 1969 Apollo 11 moon landing. Good year.
Yeah.
An official at the promotion ceremony called Aldrin an inspiration to the nation and tireless advocate for space exploration.
He's a fireball, that Buzz.
Isn't he the one I thought with the young wife?
He's something else, that guy.
He is sparky.
Do you want your space guys like that, or do you want them button up like Armstrong? Do you want them like your degree holding Utah resident, or do you want them a little nuts like Guy Fieri in a spacesuit?
A little bit of both.
Right.
You need a little bit of both to be able to figure out how to get back home, right? All right, back to the politics at hand. Leaked video shows Ron DeSantis discussing how to respond to controversial comments he made in his first race for governor.
You mean the video that every Republican made when Trump was there?
The video released yesterday by ABC News shows DeSantis having a mock debate with Panhandle Congressman Matt Gaetz back in 2018.
Panhandle Congressman makes it sound like he's homeless.
Now, during that race, if you remember, that was against Andrew Gillum, who's black. DeSantis was criticized for urging voters not to, quote, monkey this up, end quote. In the video, DeSantis and his aides can be seen discussing how to react to the comment if it was brought up in the debate with Gillum. DeSantis told his advisors if he showed any weakness, he could lose his base and look like less than a leader by those who think political correctness has gone too far. Yep. ABC News also reports that DeSantis will announce next month that he's running for president, or if he's not. Of course, it was said that he was going to make that announcement after the legislative session, which ended last week.
Right. And I think everybody was expecting it like any day now. Middle of May is what we heard.
Exactly.
Could you imagine the balls it would take to somebody to go, hey, look, sit down here. I'm going to teach you how to debate Donald Trump. It'd be like going, hey, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to teach you how to box a swarm of bees. There's no way to learn how to debate that guy.
Well, and it's interesting you say that.
Just fly with it. It is like a sketch comedy show.
Because out of Miami, Barry University's Dr. Sean Foreman says former President Trump is ahead by double digits in the latest GOP primary polls. But DeSantis will now also be able to tout all those new conservative-friendly laws just passed as a major victory, right? So DeSantis isn't not slowing down. He's traveling to Wisconsin, Illinois, and Iowa this week, where he's going to discuss our 6-week abortion ban, as well as the expansion of the parental rights in education, or the Don't Say Gay law. Now, Trump also is ahead of DeSantis in the polls, but DeSantis has more campaign cash.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening
and no
here.
Indictments. That's right. Yeah, that too.
Here's the other thing you need to look at. I mean, this guy had formed a plan a year and a half ago. Ron DeSantis formed a plan a year and a half ago. He's not going to veer from it. Nothing Donald Trump says or does is going to make this guy veer from his plan. He's going to stay on point and go forward.
It'll
That's
be
exactly
interesting.
what's gonna happen.
And I hate bringing polls or even talking about them because, man, if we learned anything in 2016.
About the Washington Post poll, did you see that one?
No.
Had Trump winning against Biden by 5 points.
Really?
And that's the latest Washington Post poll.
So, again, take the polls.
Right.
Keep 'em in-
Stephanopoulos was speechless when he read it.
Really?
Yeah, because I think a lot of people believe that a heads-up fight between Trump and Biden, that Biden would win because they believe that Trump has lost the moderates. Yeah.
And yet...
Economy does a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of politics, a former Kissimmee City Commissioner is now facing charges in connection to campaign law violations. Investigators say Carlos Irizarry has been released from jail following his arrest late last week. A former candidate for Osceola County Commission seat filed a lawsuit against Irizarry, claiming he functioned as a ghost candidate during last year's race. Jackie Espinoza, who also said he was a really close friend, but was also her opponent, lost the commissioner's race, now running for Kissimmee mayor, and accused Irizarry of accepting bribes in order to help her opponent win, siphoning off the votes. Right. She's planning to provide more details about the case sometime today. All right, here's some news that affects all of us. The state legislature is helping speed up a handful of highway improvement projects, including 5 in Central Florida.
Really?
Who isn't tired of driving around barrels and barricades?
What are they going to rebuild this time? What are they rebuilding?
Oh, let's see. Before wrapping up last week, lawmakers approved a $4 billion request from Governor DeSantis to speed up 20 projects. The biggest local investment will go toward the reconstruction of I-4 from Champions Gate to the Osceola Parkway, with a price tag of nearly $1.5 billion.
Bravo. Let's do this. I did it twice over the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the ultimate I-4, you know what? Hats off. It works.
I think so too. I think it did a great job.
It works.
Yeah.
The problem is then you get off whether it's the toll roads or you just get down to that Disney 535 Disney Champions Gate area.
Just park your car and walk.
There is traffic no matter what time. I was coming home at 9 p.m. coming back from Tampa Saturday night. Traffic. Going there. Traffic.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what time
Miserable.
it is. Impervious. It's impervious to anything.
I don't know, though. I mean, this is good news. Now, the money for the 4-year plan was approved with the latest state budget, which is set to take effect this July. Did you guys happen to read about what's also in that bill about what they would allow to be used in the road construction here in Florida?
No.
It's the toxic sludge from the gypsum stacks.
Yes.
So it's that radioactive that they would mix it in.
They'd mix it in with the tar that they used to create the roads. I did see that because it was they labeled the story.
Radioactive.
Are your roads going to be radioactive?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all that,
saying that is bad for the environment and is also a health concern for road construction crews.
I'm sure scientists have checked this out and signed off on it.
I'd like to think that this was just like some mechanic guy going, okay, Ron, what do you want? You want better roads? Okay, it's going to be $4 billion. We're going to make it with toxic poop.
Hey, you guys don't worry. This was approved by the director of engineering in Haiti.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that has been. Now, they did approve a short-term study to see what's going to happen, but
it's going to be weird when your roads are radioactive and your Hyundai grows a wang. What's wrong with your muffler? I think it likes me.
I don't think we're on the road anymore. I think we're hovering.
What are we, a treehouse now? Speaking of other money things, millions of dollars are being sent to Floridians found to be part of a settlement with TurboTax and the company's owner, Intuit, who faced allegations that it charged people for services that should have been free. Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody says the state received $10 million as part of that settlement, and restitution checks are in the mail today. The good news is Moody says consumers who are eligible, you're going to be notified through email and then receive a check in the mail automatically without even having to file a claim.
It's weird, no, because there's so many scams going on. Even if you get a check in the mail to you, it's legit. You just are like, I'm not cashing that.
I endorse that. What does that mean? Will they get my bank account?
Exactly. If I endorse that, it's a payment plan or $1 a month at 400% interest. What's going on?
And it's the way it ought to be. It couldn't be easier. You don't have to fill anything out.
I know.
Sending it right to you.
But still, you'd look at it and go, I don't know. That looks kind of sketch.
Completely.
Looks kind of sketch.
What am I agreeing to if I endorse this?
Exactly.
I always find it weird is that you always have to. Do you do digital check deposits,
My wife
Jim?
does all that. Yeah.
All right.
No, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's just always weird because like I don't understand how what black magic that works.
But I did get a text. I want to let you know. Huge news. Jimmy got an Apple Card. Is that true?
That is true.
Yay!
I gotta see it.
It's on my wallet right now. I'll show you during the break.
Okay, good. Well, before we get to that part, look at how smug and proud he is.
Got that titanium
Look
coming
at
too,
how
Claire.
proud he is.
I'm gonna be throwing that thing on bar top.
That's exactly the noise it makes.
All right, in South Florida, don't know if this is going to be happening here anytime soon, but clear backpacks will now become a staple in Broward schools next academic year as the district announces it's requiring all student bags to be see-through. Kenneth Trump with National School Safety Services says the idea is to add another layer of security, but it really isn't sufficient because if you think about it, a student can still carry a weapon on their person or use a hoodie to cover their bag. The mandate, which includes lunch bags and purses, all right, applies to all students from pre-kindergarten up beginning to the first day of school, August 21st. Now, students will be allowed to bring a small, non-transparent pouches for personal hygiene items, right?
Okay, yeah.
No girl wants.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to. No.
We know.
Thermal food containers and school-approved athletic and band bags.
Man, how bleak is that?
Yeah.
Seriously.
And still, I mean, again, yes.
And again, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, closer to home, even closer to home. Hey, who doesn't like making reservations at a theme park? Any of you?
Oh,
okay.
no, it's a hoot.
So Disney is getting rid of the reservation requirements at its parks here in Florida.
Reservations for what? Like for rides?
No, remember that if you wanted to go to the park, I think this was brought on during the pandemic, but then even afterward, like for the amount of crowds.
It was just to guarantee your entry.
Yes.
Because they were selling out. They were going to capacity like every day.
So guests will no longer need a reservation for date-based tickets at Disney World.
I'm sorry. I had no idea that you had to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in Orlando now, thanks to their own feedback. So this is going to take effect at the beginning of 2024. Right now, visitors will only need to buy a ticket for a specific date, but won't need to make reservations for any of the specific parks. That's in addition to the new rule that annual pass holders can visit any Orlando theme park after 2 p.m. without a reservation.
There you go.
Of all things, right? They just have to reserve.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is, speaking of crazy, this is a really cool story. Orlando Health is designing a state-of-the-art facility in Puerto Rico. The health system says it's going to launch a robotic surgery center at its Doctors Center Hospital in Dorado. This will allow surgeons to perform complex procedures more easily. Take that, mom and dad, when you see your kid gaming, right?
Yeah, no joke.
It's also designed to lower the risk of complications and make for a faster healing process, less trauma to the body, right? Right. Physicians on the island says this is also going to help increase access to high-quality health care for their patients.
So basically what that would mean is you would only have to have a surgery center that had the machine, the robot, right? That means that any doctor in the world could just log into the machine and operate it with the other corresponding operating mechanism at their end. So theoretically, a doctor wouldn't even have to be there to do the surgery, right?
Wow, I don't know.
Is that
no,
possible?
because I think
Do they
I
run
think
it
the
it's
surgeon
in real time where they run it? Like
with the robotic surgery, I think it's the smaller incision, it's the instrumentation that would go into the surgical wound itself.
Yeah, I just wonder if they have to be present considering everything is done remotely anyway. You see what I'm saying?
I believe the robotic part is the instrumentation that they're using, but they're still there controlling it with a joystick.
They're not relying on Wi-Fi and a good connection to be without lag. Damn lag.
Not yet. Not yet.
Kids, get off your phone.
And finally,
I've got a kidney to finish.
Am I going to survive? Yeah, you're good. We got 60 megabytes. 60.
All right, the list of productions being impacted by the ongoing writer's strike is growing. In a blog post Sunday, author George R.R. Martin confirmed the writer's room for the Game of Thrones spinoff series, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight, has shut down.
Okay.
Martin said the series' showrunner and his staff are on the picket lines at the as the Writers Guild of America strike now enters its second week. The strike has also disrupted production of the Marvel Studios Disney Plus series Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, come on!
On Twitter, WGA East said members had begun picketing where filming for the series was set to take place in New York, and members of other unions working on the show had refused to cross the picket line.
Saw a tweet this morning or a social media post. I can't remember where it was or what the star was, but it was basically saying this: don't think this writer strike is going to get taken care of easily. Chances are the studios have been thinking about this move for a while now. So in other words, before that, even before the writers struck, there's common knowledge now, I guess, that the studios kind of knew it was coming, and they've kind of buried in, or they've hunkered down, for lack of a better word, to kind of get ready for a fight here.
And there's a big AI component to
Massive AI component.
Wow. Somebody just texted us, thank you, at 77031. I do robotic surgeries every day. The surgeon, all caps, has to be in the room at a console.
There you go.
And now you all are officially woke, and Woke News is brought to you by Home Loans Radio with that mortgage guy, Don. You know, mortgage brokers are better. Why? Because they do all of their loans through national wholesale lenders. Now, you're still your standard FHA, VA, or conventional loan, but they've got access to dozens of wholesale banks competing for your business for once. Imagine that, dozens of banks competing to get your business. Well, that mortgage guy, Don, will give you a comparison quote today. Just go to thatmortgageguyDon.com. It really is peace of mind at your fingertips. So don't miss the boat. Compare your quote at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Thanks, Deb. 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. Anybody else on that? Nobody reacted? We got somebody listening to the show that has robot surgery? Nobody reacted. Nobody. Not one person said,
because we know we have the smartest audience.
Like, nobody in the show went, God dang, man.
I did. Why do you think I brought it up?
We got straight up robot doctors listening to the show, and nobody peeped.
And every time, I'm never amazed anymore by our listeners do everything.
So smart. I know, literally everything.
Robot doctor.
Bro, it's real radio. We go from mullets to PhDs. That's what we do.
Boom.
All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec.
Real radio is Real Music Weekends.
All my favorite songs are slow and sad.
Real Music Weekends. This weekend on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. Afternoon highs today will be soaring to the upper 80s with a lot of sunshine. Do not forget your sunscreen today, and do make sure you're staying hydrated. We remain dry today and tomorrow, but rain chances will be moving back into the forecast by the middle of the week. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa's new Rechargers are handcrafted energy drinks to help you power through your day. Made the way you want, iced or frozen, with natural sources of caffeine. Get energy for every day. Gotta have a Wawa.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at the Filatowski Eye Institute. Everybody knows your eyes are the window into your world, and that is why I didn't even think once about a discount surgery center for LASIK vision correction for my son and my father-in-law, both having problems with their vision. I turned straight to the people I know that lead this here in Central Florida. That's the Filatowski Eye Institute, the recognized leader in vision correction surgery in Central Florida. I trusted them with no problem whatsoever. The reason why? Tons and tons of experience, over 65,000 surgeries right here in Central Florida for over 30 years. These guys have been changing lives overnight forever. They use the latest state-of-the-art LASIK tech, not to mention fast recovery times. Most people are back to work the very next day. You can start seeing the way you were meant to. All you have to do, just contact the Filatowski Eye Institute by texting 1041 to the number 868686. Schedule that consultation today to see what they can do for you. They even have 24-month interest-free financing to qualified patients. Schedule your consultation today, 1041 to 868686. It's the Filatowski Eye Institute, the smart choice, the only choice for LASIK vision correction.
Hi, I'm Octavia Clausman. My dad is attorney Glenn Clausman, who helps people with their injury claims. My dad really cares about people. His clients have his cell number so they can call him anytime. At home, at night, I see him working on their files. He talks about how his clients' injuries have affected them and how he tries to help. He really cares. If you have an injury claim, you should call my dad, Glenn Klausman. Call 407-917-1718. He'll give you his cell number. Glenn Klausman at KLAUSMANlaw.com. Office, Winter Park.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
Tobacco-Free Florida has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of quit aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics.
You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter of all.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Internal Revenue Service. When you owe a personal or business tax debt and can't pay, just hearing those 3 words brings feelings of fear and anxiety, and it's only a matter of time before tax liens, wage garnishments, or bank levies happen to you. We are J. David Tax Law, a local firm right here in Florida. Your first step to resolution is our no-cost consultation. We take the time to go through your specific tax problem step by step. We explain exactly what your options are and how we will resolve your tax issue. At J. David Tax Law, only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you, and our fee payment plans are affordable for everyone. If you have tax problems, call us now for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962. Or find us on the web at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
This is Lars.
James from Metallica here.
And this is iHeartRadio.
What's up? This is Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park.
We're the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
One day you're serving in the military, and then the next day you come home and you're dealing with an injury.
Britton is in recovery from an addiction to prescription opioids.
My opioid misuse and need got so strong. Addiction is hard. You're not going to fix it on your own. You have to reach out for help. The recovery side of it is amazing. You get to a place where you're proud of yourself again.
If you or someone you know is struggling, there is hope. Recovery is possible. Visit cdc.gov/RxAwareness.
Stop by your neighborhood Petco to save on your pet's favorite brands like Blue Buffalo, Iams, Wholehearted, and Purina Pro Plan. And when your pet needs to see a vet, Petco Vet Services can take care of vaccinations, flea, tick, and heartworm prevention, and more. Don't forget, your pet always wants to look their best, so make a grooming appointment while you're there. You'll get every 8th groom free when you unlock the grooming perk in our app. Visit your nearest Petco or go to petco.com to start saving on all your pet's needs.
In St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra, it might feel like there's not enough time to take everything in. Because once you're done exploring 42 miles of pristine coast, marveling at historical architecture, and enjoying world-class food, it'll be time to check out and head home. But that's okay. You can always stay just one more day. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more. It's about time. This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Real Radio is on Instagram because why wouldn't we be? You know what? Don't answer that. At Real Radio 1041, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
Hey guys, bringing back the topic of things you'd like to not ever hear again. How about this one? Let's go! I am so sick of that. Let's not.
Kind of with him on that one. That one's starting to get a little played too. Like everybody that scores a good, like everybody does something cool. It's like, let's go! What? It's lame.
It's like a personal attack on you, man.
I'm gonna keep going. I'm letting myself go. Not like that, but
You have let yourself go. A little bit.
Let's
Need
go.
a haircut, buddy. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here. Full power all week for you guys.
Yeah. Full prescription strength, as we like to say.
100%. Went to SeaWorld this weekend. I haven't been there in a while. Went to see Martina McBride. Had to,
It had to be a good time.
You get the tickets, you go out there to the park, and then at the end of the day, they have the show. That little stadium out there, I have to tell you, I got to give these guys a shout out real quick. For one thing, I'll go to the disappointments first, and then we'll do the cool stuff afterwards. Disappointments were that the Atlantis thing that they have. It's like a boat ride that you go through, and then it's got a drop at the end.
Yeah,
you got to go through it. It's like one of their cool rides.
Yeah,
closed.
Right.
Don't know. Just closed for maintenance, right? Kraken, I think, was closed. The surf coaster was running when we got there with people on it, but then not long into the trip, it was running but no people on it.
Yeah, they're in a soft opening.
That's
with
what
that
I was
right now.
just about to ask.
But
Okay, yeah.
But the people were riding it, so
Yeah.
I mean, it was being ridden. We pulled up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like one of the first things we saw.
Yeah.
Was a load of people coming by there. My wife is a roller coaster person, so she was really looking forward to this. And I think one of the others was closed or was running without people, like it was a test pattern as well. And again, that happens because parks have those things happen. But what the problem is that when you have that many of your premier rides closed, it causes massive lines at the ones that are open. So unfortunately, we got there a little bit later in the afternoon, and the waits were all an hour and a half. So for us to be able to get over to the show and wait to get good seats like we'd paid for, we couldn't really hit any of the rides. But people were having a blast though, and it's always cool to see. It's always cool to go out there and see the park. I haven't been out in a while. Cool stuff. Cool stuff is that the food fest out there is pretty darn cool. They have a lot of, and it was pretty popular. There was a good crowd out there for their food fest. It was the last day of it, and it'll come back. I know they have some other stuff going. You can go to SeaWorld.com and find that out. But man, the people who mix these shows at SeaWorld at that performance auditorium, which is a really, really good space, by the way. It's almost like an amphitheater kind of thing because the stage is like right there on a lake. And you would think that would be kind of weird because the coasters are running next to it, but the coaster that's right next to it is a really quiet one. I don't even know the name of it, but it's really quiet, so you could barely hear it. And they didn't stop it for the show. They kept it running, and it was right there. But she did an amazing job. She's a Grammy-winning artist. She was country music vocalist of the Female Vocalist of the Year a couple times, I believe. And her band sounded amazing. But, buddy, let me tell you, they mix those shows as good as you can mix them. That thing sounded like an album. It was incredible.
How long did she play?
She played for about an hour and 15 minutes, and she did a couple covers, which is kind of cool. She did a Pat Benatar tune, "Hit Me With Your Best Shot," because Pat doesn't do it anymore. She stopped singing that.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
And then she did a Loretta Lynn song because I guess she was friends with Loretta Lynn. And
Love Loretta Lynn.
paid homage to the Queen of Country by playing that song. And then she's got quite a few hits on her own, so she had no problem filling the hour and 15 minutes.
Did she, when she did "Hit Me With Your Best Shot," she covered Pat Benatar, as you mentioned. Pat Benatar no longer does that. Did she mention that Pat Benatar no longer does
She never even mentioned Pat Benatar. She just kind of played the song. I think maybe she's just a fan of the song.
Yeah.
And they did it as a rock tune. They didn't try to countryfy it up or anything like that. After the show, which was kind of interesting, we were right there. And if my wife is a giant fan, so we got tickets to get pretty darn close. And my wife has this particular scream she lets out when she gets excited or something like that. And
how many times did you hear it, Jimmy?
It's real noticeable. So she's doing video and she's letting out this woo scream, letting it rip. So she puts the video up on Instagram right after the show, and guess who watches and likes the video? Martina McBride.
Oh, now that's an endorsement.
She was very.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool. She sent me a screenshot. She goes, "Look at my video," and sure enough, right there. But she put a big thank you video up because the crowd was hyped. I mean, they were like you would think that Martina McBride had a hit out like right now. I mean, the place was going crazy. But she did a really good job and gave the crowd a really good show. And she's so sweet and very genuine. She's doing like a cookbook thing now, trying to create like a home brand, of home decor and cooking and things like that. So she talked about that quite a bit. It was a good time though, man.
That's awesome. Well, what'd you eat there?
We ate some kebabs.
All right.
We had some hummus and pita chips like that. The lines were pretty long, so we only got to a couple of the stands, but everything was pretty good. Had some cocktails, which were good as well. And that's it, man. It was just a good time. You know, I haven't been out there in quite a while. It was a blast.
I just want to acknowledge how upset you probably were that you were going to get to go on all those roller coasters.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to do the coasters, but she almost had me talked into one.
Really?
Almost had me talked into one because I watched it a couple of times. I'm like, man, I think that's manageable.
Yeah, it's just a penguin exhibit.
You know, the polar bear thing is gone now. They don't do that. They do the so it's not a of course they don't get in the pool with the orcas anymore, but they still have an orca presentation.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, it's only about 20 minutes, and it's kind of the same stuff they did before, but there's no interaction with the trainers in the pool or any of that anymore.
Did you sit in the splash zone?
No, buddy. But let me tell you, the people that did paid for it dearly.
Yeah.
Because where you get the feeling the trainers are taking it out on the patrons that still can, because they had those whales that go underneath and they use their tails to
right.
splash water. And one of those was really pissed. Had a very bad whale day or something because it was just one after the other, and it must have been 100 gallons of water every time this massive fish slapped its tail. It was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
The Jim Colbert of the of the whale world.
And the other thing before we go, I thought was very weird, and I've never. Have you guys ever seen a flamingo fly?
Yeah,
you have.
Yes,
I've never seen one fly, and we're sitting there waiting for Martina McBride to come out, and my wife looks at me and goes, holy crap, there are flamingos just flying around here. And I thought, I'm going to be dead honest with you, this could be just me being stupid because, trust me, it happens. But I thought they clipped their wings when they were like park animals, if they could fly, to kind of keep them grounded in the parks. I had no idea they had like an open policy to just come and go.
To be honest with you, I assumed that as well because I've never seen a wild flock of flamingos.
No, they were just flying around up there that lake. They wouldn't leave the SeaWorld area, which leads me to believe they know where to go for the food thing.
Well, yeah, they're being fed. I saw one time in St. Petersburg going to the Dali Museum against a pure blue sky, and it's striking to see, isn't it?
Yeah, because we had
you're like, whoa,
crystal clear sky. When that thing flew across there, it looked like a Warhol painting because there was just a splash of bright pink against that real blue sky. It
was perfect.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
It's back. The 2023 Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival, May 16th through the 29th in Lock Haven Park. Learn how to fringe now at orlandofringe.org.
Looking at some slow traffic this afternoon on I-4 as you drive eastbound between the 408 and Robinson Street and between 536 and Central Florida Parkway. Westbound delays reported on the interstate between the Beach Line and 535. No slowdowns or delays north or southbound this afternoon on Florida's Turnpike. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Walt Disney World.jobs.
We're hiring. Come be a part of the magic at Walt Disney World Resort. Discover full-time and part-time roles, including creative costuming, culinary, lifeguard, and more. Apply today at waltdisneyworld.jobs. That's waltdisneyworld.jobs.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Orlando City kicks off their U.S. Open Cup Championship defense this Tuesday at Charlotte FC. Watch the match on the CBS Sports Golazo Network, kicking off at 7 p.m. Then the Lions stay on the road for their next MLS regular season match, traveling to Ohio, taking on the Columbus Crew on Saturday, May 13th at 7:30 p.m. Tune in on FM 96.9 The Game and watch on any device on the Apple TV app.
Life is full of ifs. If you see potential in every day, if you push for that promotion, and even bigger ifs like if you say, I do. If you can cash flow like a pro and get paid up to 2 days early, if you can safeguard against surprises and supercharge your savings, the if in life becomes less iffy. Regions Life Banking makes it possible. If you're interested.
Let's talk about the if in life. Regions Bank, embrace the if in life.
Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Here's what Fence Outlet customers have to say about their experience.
The Fence Outlet team is knowledgeable and professional. They have fair prices and they take care of the permits. I'm very happy with my Fence Outlet fence.
Check them out for yourself at fenceoutlet.com. License number C10252 and C108.
Sharing your health story matters.
I lost my sister to cervical cancer. When I'm teaching about women's cancers, I'm thinking about her, and I'm doing this for her.
Joining the All of Us research program means contributing to research that may help people of different backgrounds.
This research process will only become better if we have more diverse communities involved. We need to be represented. We need to be part of this medical breakthrough.
Take part in the largest health database of its kind.
Get involved with all of us, because any medical breakthrough that we'll see has to have your input. It has to have part of you in it.
Share your health stories today and help guide the discoveries of tomorrow. Learn more at joinallofus.org/NIH. This message is paid for by the All of Us Research Program.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Get top deals on everything you need to freshen up your yard, like the Cobalt 24-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit, only at Lowe's. Was $199, now just $149. Plus, get your lawn in shape with up to $15 off select Scott's Easy Seed Lawn Repair Mixes. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Scott's offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance company, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Focus on getting better and let us take care of everything else. Our experienced team will get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
One day you're serving in the military, and then the next day you come home and you're dealing with an injury.
Britton is in recovery from an addiction to prescription opioids.
My opioid misuse and need got so strong. Addiction is hard. You're not going to fix it on your own. You have to reach out for help. The recovery side of it is amazing. You get to a place where you're proud of yourself again.
If you or someone you know is struggling, there is hope. Recovery is possible. Visit cdc.gov/RxAwareness.
In this week's Marketers Report, we hear about the importance of local radio from Allison Griffin, Head of Marketing at State Farm.
iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Fast food doesn't always have to sound like this. When you buy fresh from Florida, fast food can sound like this. Make quick and easy family meals with the tastiest flavors of Florida. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop and find delicious, refreshing recipes for what's in season at followfreshfromflorida.com.
Divorce? Call Trinley and Kramer, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
Injured? Hire the largest injury firm in the world. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind Studios. Why Kaufman & Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch at The Jim Colbert.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041, broadcasting live from beautiful Maitland, Florida. You can check us out online, JimColbertLive.com. Brendan Kravitz will be in studio in just a few minutes with sports. So if you want to watch that live, again, JimColbertLive.com. Don't also forget I mean, if you're just tuning in, all week, Jack went out of his way to secure some Aerosmith Black Crowes tickets, just announcing their farewell tour. This is part of that, and you can win a pair this week, all week long, right here at 5:45 for our trivia segment. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And back. And shiny. And happy.
Oh.
Jack is here.
Hi there.
And Ross.
Sup?
Okay.
No, let's go.
I'm shiny. He's happy.
Who here went to community college?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, my first 2 years. Then I transferred to the UCF.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Ross?
I did, yeah.
You went for just like a semester, right?
No, 11 days.
Or an hour?
I was there 4, 6, an hour.
Yeah, was it weeks? You were 6 weeks, right?
It was something like that.
There you
It
go.
was right when I was about to buy books for the second time, and
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
right.
bro, I don't even really like reading right now. I'm not spending 400 bucks on a book.
Did you go to community college before you transferred, or did you go straight in?
I went straight to the University of Wisconsin Stout. Hey, when in doubt, go to Stout.
All right. Or drink it. So there's an interesting thing out today about community colleges, and I felt I should pull this just to warn parents, because here's the thing. So I grew up with my in my hometown, my mom and my weren't really focused on education. It wasn't like a thing. There, like a lot of places, you get out of high school, you go to work, get a good job, work your way up, establish yourself as, an electrician, a plumber, something like that, just a blue-collar job. Few people got to go to college. Everybody else had to kind of do their thing. For the people who were right on the cusp of that, one of the very popular paths was a 2-year degree from a community college, an accredited community college. Then you transfer that AA, that Associates in Arts degree, into a 4-year school. And I believe in Florida, from what I understood, and I think this is kind of accurate across the country, once you have your AA, you can pretty much take that and get into any of the 4-year schools, right? You can
just about.
Transfer right in, right?
Yes, in Florida, yeah.
That's right. So you can go to the University of Florida, you go, as long as you could afford the tuition, those grades would work. So what this story is about is this, and we've seen a really interesting transformation in these community college brands anyway. They're now state colleges, not like community colleges. Like apparently that name did not muster up the intellectual forethought that people thought it might.
Yeah, and once they started offering some 4-year degrees, they say like Seminole State College,
Right, yeah.
where it used to be community.
I was going to say their accreditation would change from community to state.
Right, yeah, because they offer like maybe 8 full, maybe like business degree, something like that, some basic math. I don't even know what they are.
Well, I mean, because that's so important. We saw over the recent years, schools that popped up and then, were at threat of losing their accreditation. And of course, if they lose their accreditation,
they're done. That's it.
Your degree means nothing, and you've spent all that money.
So here's what happens, and here's what's happening, and here's what's happening across the country. This story is via California, but I know for a fact this is happening across the country. This girl goes to school. She gets her AA. She takes her AA, and they say, hey, look, we have a direct program. You can go to University of California, Bakersfield. So, it's still a really, nice school. You can go in there, get your degree, and then move on, right? She goes to transfer and realizes that the school doesn't even recognize some of the classes that she's taken. That even if it's the same book that they're using in the 4-year school as opposed to the community college, because they say that the lesson plan isn't rigorous enough in community college, that they won't accept the credit transfer. You'll have to take that class over again.
Oh.
And she found out that a lot of her classes fell into that plan. It added 1.5 years onto her degree and cost her $20,000 more because she had to re-buy those classes at 4-year school rates, not at $100 a credit hour or whatever the hell it is, like $200, $300 a credit hour. So what I'm saying to you parents out there, if you plan on sending your kid to Seminole Community College, Valencia Community College, any of those colleges here in the state of Florida or out in the U.S., even if they're getting a scholarship, because my daughter got a scholarship in volleyball to Indian River State, which was formerly Indian River Community College, to play for those guys, even then you have to double check with the curriculum of the college, especially if you know where you want to go after the fact. Like if Jack came down, I'm going to get this AA that I'm going to transfer to UCF, and I'm going to get my business degree, and I'm going to move forward. What they're saying you should definitely 1,000 trillion% do is if you plan on using a community college to forward your child into a 4-year degree, you definitely want to check with the school they plan on going to make sure those credits are going to be accepted. Don't automatically assume because you've been told that's the case, that's going to happen. Or you could wind up costing yourself tens of thousands of more dollars, and of course costing your child a year and a half more in school than they really wanted to go, or you'd planned to go.
That would be a very rude surprise.
This story is really kind of amazing. This is from the AP as well. It's not like this is from the New York Post. I mean, this was an investigative report from the Associated Press about community colleges and their health in the country, which it doesn't look real good.
Right. The example that they were talking about, what state were they in?
California.
So it was California.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So the good news was she got her degree there. She was admitted to California State University, Bakersfield, as a transfer student. But when she got logged in there, they say she got a gut punch. Most of the classes that she got at her AA at a community college would not transfer, and they forced her to take them over again to continue her education.
Someone just texted us at 77031 saying they transferred to Valencia from Seminole State College, and they told me that I had to take the bulk of my classes over again.
And then somebody texted and said, I did community college. I'll transfer all your credits as long as you actually finish your 2-year degree. Buddy, that's not what it's saying here. And I mean, again, that may be in Florida. I do not know. This story is saying that you probably need to be at least a little cautious considering the school you plan on transferring to. Because, I mean, hell no, USF could be different than US or UCF or Florida for that matter.
Right. What I'm guessing, if you're going to, like, transferring to the 4-year university for your 3rd year, and you want to sign up for a course, and they have certain prerequisites for that course, like, oh, yeah, you have to take this class and this class before you could take this one.
Right.
And now you thought you took those 2 classes at the community college level. That I could see where they're saying, yeah, well, those aren't quite up to the same speed, so you're going to have to take that again.
That's exactly what they're saying. And actually, California, I think Virginia, and a number of other states are actually passing laws right now to combat that, so that everybody kind of understands what can or cannot transfer, so that there are no surprises, because you can obviously imagine how big of a wrench this would be in your plan machine.
Completely. And it's something that should be communicated between the schools,
right?
And it shouldn't be up to every student to determine the classes that you're faced with at the community college level, whether they will or will not transfer. You shouldn't have to, like, take your course and then go find someone at a 4-year university to say, hey, can you approve these?
Right, yeah.
And
not a bad idea.
And they're saying they're getting bad advice from counselors at these colleges that aren't really kind of giving them a real clue of what they're looking at. And then some of the 4-year schools they're transferring into really haven't made it clear that those credits may not transfer. And here's a stat for you, just to kind of give you a little bit more solid base on what we're talking about here. Nearly 1 million students who started at a community college in 2016, out of 1 million, just 1 in 7 earned a bachelor's degree within 6 years.
Oh.
So that means you're transferring with theoretically a 2-year degree into a 4-year school, and it takes you 4 more years, and theoretically it should only take you 2.5, maybe 3 at max to finish your degree if you are just going to school.
Then there are no savings either in time, effort, or money.
And they're saying here that it actually has a name. They have a name for this. It's called
whack.
No, yeah, but it's called like you lose. It's something equity, and basically what they're saying is one of the reasons that $1 million that million number is the way it is once you transfer in as a student, if it becomes difficult for you to finish, most of those kids won't go back and take those classes over. They'll just call college quits and go to work.
Well, when you have to pay another $20,000, and then at the end, I mean,
yeah, this definitely seems like a situation that you want to be proactive instead of reactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put in that extra work, have a little bit of forethought just to make sure you're all good and not pissing and wasting time and money away.
It says here, that's exactly what they say. That's what she said. She goes, it just feels like such a waste of time. I mean, she really doesn't mention the money much. I'm sure that will be a stinger, but you can't just get back that, you can work and make another 20 grand, but you can't work and make and take a year and a half of your life back.
She doesn't have to bring up the money aspect because time is money, and that's the big currency, and she just lost a lot of it.
Yep.
Texter, who actually did the same thing I did, probably looks like the same year, too. Back in 96, went from Brevard Community College to UCF. they had to redo their second year of engineering school because many of their classes did not meet standards. I was just taking, radio and TV communication, so there's no problem. No issues there.
They weren't really putting your brain in a headlock for that one, were they? Yeah. And it says that they will advocate for this girl as much as possible. It also says here that this is very common, especially in California, which has long struggled to connect its 116 community college to more than 30 of their public universities. But they are forming some laws now to help it so that people who do lean onto these community colleges for an opportunity to fulfill their dream of having a 4-year degree. They weren't born into a family that can afford it. Maybe they didn't get scores that were good enough to get an academic scholarship, or they don't have an athletic ability that'll get them that. They're just going to go about it the old-fashioned way, just pay for it and get it and move on, and makes it more difficult to do so.
You can't convince me that this is because the college is trying to look out for the integrity of the student.
Well, no, I don't think that's at all.
This is a college going like, yeah, you got to do it again. How about you try again? Pay me a little bit more money, playboy.
Yeah, it's called credit loss. That's what it's called. In other words, you put money into all those credits, not credit like your credit score. You put money into those credits, and then you find out the credit has no value whatsoever. So you've lost all that money and time to earn it.
So frustrating. So frustrating.
And you got to think back at every paper that you missed something for because you wanted to be a good student, and everything you did to crush those grades. You're so proud of yourself, only to find out it is worthless.
Well, hopefully all those PDFs, all your essays you saved on that computer of yours, you can just turn them in again.
It is the Jim Colbert Show question of the day. Did you or do your kids plan on attending a community college or the state college level? You can find that on Twitter at Real Radio 1041. Find it on our YouTube chat at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Join us in the chat there. Or if you're on Facebook, join the Jim members group and you can vote there as well.
Absolutely. 407-916-1041. Before we go to break and get back with Brandon Kravitz, quote from the texting service, that dude on your YouTube bottom right panel needs to stop taking Adderall.
Let's go!
I just looked up at the panel and I realized, well, that's Ross. That's who they're talking about. I thought it could have been me there for a second. All right, back in a sec with sports.
Something on your mind? Text us at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Slowdowns reported on I-4 as you take the interstate east and westbound between the Beach Line and 535. Still looking at a major slowdown southbound on the Turnpike. Gray crash blocks the left lane near Scrub J Lane. Looking at a crash blocking 2 lanes southbound on the Greenway as well near the Celebration Toll Plaza. Heavy traffic reported due to a serious crash blocking the roadway on Hiawassee between Willowwood Street and Silver Star. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa's new Rechargers are handcrafted energy drinks to help you power through your day. Made the way you want, iced or frozen, with natural sources of caffeine. Get energy for every day. Gotta have a Wawa.
This Earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Marco's Pizza.
If you're a pro that paints, the Home Depot is here to save you money. Paint stores try to convince you you're getting a good deal by offering deep discounts on paint, but what they don't tell you is the starting price is too high to begin with. The real question is, how much are you paying per gallon? Nobody beats the Home Depot's price per gallon on Behr paint guaranteed. We offer everyday low prices on every gallon of top-rated Behr paint stains and primers. Plus, our pros earn discounts through our Pro Extra Paint Rewards program. That's the value of the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only. See store for details.
Welcome to Pollo Tropical. Would you like to try our new coconut shrimp?
Coconut shrimp, shrimp and the coconut. Coconut shrimp,
Coco y camarón.
Pollo is serving up perfectly golden, sweet, and savory coconut shrimp in a bowl, platter, or on the side with our pineapple rum sauce. We're going coconuts for the all-new coconut shrimp, only at Pollo Tropical.
Coconut shrimp, coco y camarón.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers.
We will do sound check parties that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without iHeart.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Sharing your health story matters.
I knew since I was 5 years old that I wanted to be a nurse. I equated it to helping people and making them feel better. I am gently retired, but even though I'm not at the bedside, I'm able to do just as much work in the community. I've been fortunate to participate in All of Us.
Joining the All of Us research program means contributing to research that may help people of different backgrounds.
I received DNA genetic profiling that showed that my body metabolizes medicine slower than average. Now I had proof of what I've known about myself all along that are specific to me, to my genes. I'm sharing my story because if I can make a difference, then I'm all in.
Share your health stories today and help guide the discoveries of tomorrow. Learn more at joinallofus.org/NIH. Paid for by the All of Us Research Program.
Just come out, the man when you're in trouble, car accidents, slips and falls, he's the only one that you should call. Just come out, when you're injured on the go.
Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, sung by a non-attorney spokesperson.
If you're a Dunkin' Rewards member, Mondays might be your new favorite day of the week because every Monday in May, you get a free medium hot or iced coffee with any purchase. Not a member? Join on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'. Limit 1 per member per Monday. Additional charges and terms apply. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next-day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus Next Day Energy with melatonin plus extended-release B vitamins.
Spring has sprung and it's full tilt boogie time at GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
It's Ram season, which means it's time to serve with Ram 1500, Ram 3500, and Ram TRX. Hurry in now for great deals on the trucks that are built to serve. Right now during Ram season, get 10% below MSRP on the purchase of a 2023 Ram 1500 Laramie. Not compatible with lease offers or with any other consumer incentive offers. Contact dealer for details. Take retail delivery by 5/31/23.
Pray.com's Meditative Prayers podcast is the best way to bring God's perfect peace into your night. Each meditative prayer helps you focus on God, fight anxiety, sleep better, and more.
As you close your eyes, ask God to come and have fellowship with you. Open yourself to the Holy Spirit and ask Him to minister to you.
Listen to Meditative Prayers on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio.
All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us easily, 77031. You can also watch us live on our YouTube channel. Just go to JimColbertLive.com. You can click right through it. We have our question of the day up on all of our social media platforms. Did you or are you going to a community college? Something like that. Click yes or no. We'll get the combination at the end of the show and going to find out how everybody chimed in. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And Jack.
Hi there.
And Ross.
Let's get it.
Give it up for Brandon Kravitz with sports.
Yay!
96.9 The Game every day from 3 until 6. I think one of the best voices in the city for sports.
Not today. And so my son is 3 years old, and he's in preschool, daycare, whatever you want to call it.
That is insane, by the way.
Yeah,
3 years ago?
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like 2 months ago, you're like, yeah, she's pregnant.
Yeah. He's a complete little dude. It's awesome. But he brings home the most deadly germs every single day.
Oh yeah, sure.
So I was sick over the weekend. I feel fine now. Don't worry, guys. I'm good. I have a little bit. I have a little bit of leftover gunk in the throat.
But we're glad that you actually came into the studio and onto the microphone to tell us that.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple of resentful folks over here.
It's like when you have a 3-year-old, it's like every day of your life you lick clean the ball pit at McDonald's.
Pretty much. So, whatever. It wouldn't matter. I can make my way through. Tomorrow night, I have this speaking engagement that I was privileged and honored to be asked to be a part of. It's down at the Rosen Plaza. It's for strength and conditioning coaches across the country.
Cool.
College athletics.
Is it called the Show of Strength by any chance?
It's not.
Okay.
But I am emceeing this big Hall of Fame induction, and I feel like I am actively losing my voice.
You're fine. You need to go home and get some tea, though. There's some stuff that's good and therapeutic for
so
that.
Anyway, that's where my head's at.
Throat coat.
So
yeah, some throat coat. That's right. That's the action. Throat coat. Seriously.
Throat coat. Got it.
All right, so
if I whisper, if I ASMR this segment, that's why.
Yeah, we're fine. Let's start off with a couple small things. There's a bunch of big news out there. The Kentucky Derby ran this past weekend, the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. Is that what they call it?
That's
3 minutes or something like that? And although there is an ass load of controversy for this year's Kentucky Derby because it seems like every other horse died before they got to run, and they scratched the odds-on favorite an hour or so before they were supposed to run. Who was the odds-on favorite, and then actually got off a darn good race. It was a pretty exciting race. What did you think?
I mean, I think all the races pretty much look the same to me. They're all sort of running in a circle. It's awesome.
It just wasn't a runaway, is what I'm saying. It actually had a bit of a finish.
Right. I mean, those are the best kind. Is when you have it's neck and neck throughout on a very literal level, and then you've got a horse that kind of comes out of nowhere and just goes on this tear, passing horse after horse.
Great.
So that was a lot of fun. I love watching the event every year. But I think this is where most people end up falling into this bucket. I find myself morally conflicted because I don't think it's right that we do this. I also don't care on the day of the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah,
even with horse tragedies shoved in your face, I'm still so entertained by it. The pomp and circumstance, the excitement of the race, the work that the horse owners and the jockeys put into this, how majestic the horses are, and all of the lead up to the event. I get into all of that stuff. So I find myself, this is the most fence-sitting emotion in this, is that they could do away with it tomorrow, and I would go, that's probably the right call, and if they don't, I'll watch it next year.
Yeah, same thing with dog racing for me. I didn't have for lack of a better word, I didn't have a dog in that hunt. But you could see where people could make a case for that being kind of out there. And I've always wondered how horse racing. I mean, I haven't because I know it's dough. I always wondered how horse racing kind of got away from that. How they were able to avoid that argument for so many years about it being sketchy when it comes to how the animals are treated. But in the story I read today, one of the trainers said, "I treat this horse better than I treat my own kids." And I said, "That's not much of a statement you should make." Immediately after I read it, I was like, "I would not want to be your kids."
You drug your kids up so that they can be ready to run races they want no part of.
Then if they sprain their ankle, you shoot them full of death.
Yeah. Now, I do think that, and I don't have a lot of in-depth knowledge in this. I don't follow horse racing closely. I follow dog racing even further removed from that. But you would just think common sense-wise, just even knowing horse owners versus some dog owners in your life, I do think that the vast majority of horses, whether they're running races or whatever they're doing out on the farm, they are treated like royalty.
Yeah.
And for good reason. They're cash cows.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, what I was going to say is, here's why they don't say anything. Because did you see the Superfecta win that day? How much it was worth? If you bet like $1 and hit the Superfecta, which was 4 horses in a row, exactly how you picked them, was like $15K.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's why.
We should all be placing that dollar bet.
Right. And what's really weird, so I watched a Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel, who I think is the king of stories.
He's great.
Give him all of the Emmys. I love that show. And they did a report specifically about American horse racing and why American horse racing has a higher fatality rate for the horses versus over in, say, Europe.
Yeah.
And it was fascinating. It was heartbreaking. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere, but you are definitely onto something when you talk about like that level of fatality. I'm sure was still, high yesterday. I'm sorry, 2 days ago. But American horse racing has definitely gotten scrutinized because of steroids and pushing the horses to its physical limits.
Yeah, it's doping is what they were into, and the one trainer had some other. That guy got fired, and there's we'll hear more about this later. But it is interesting because the horses are worth so much money when they win because of their what they produce and the lineage that they can produce. And I just assume that when they put one down after an injury, that they assume that maybe that's a fault in their genetics, like their bones aren't strong enough or something. I always found it weird that they would automatically take a horse that could cost $500,000 because they broke their leg, not try to get them a prosthetic where they could still stud, but they just put them down and they're so flip about it. Like, that's the other thing about horse racing that I found very odd is like, yeah, this horse broke their leg. They put them down. I'm like, what? That's it? I mean, that's the story? Like, this is a $500,000 horse and you just he broke his leg, he's gone? Like, that's the story? It just seems so weird.
So do we know if that is? Can you rehab that if you're a horse? Because that sounds pretty detrimental to your productivity as a horse.
But am I lying, Deb? I mean, doesn't it seem so flipped? Like, oh yeah, a horse broke its leg, got to kill it.
And that's the part of the sport or the race that bothers me is that it's so easy for these injuries to. I mean, a couple or at least one of them happened during a training run.
Got a 2,000-pound animal running 35 miles an hour against other 2,000-pound animals right next to him doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, inevitably something's going to happen. I mean, I don't know, man.
What should we do? So what should we do about that?
Can I tell you? Don't watch it. I guess don't bet on it. But the funny thing is, yes, that Saturday, we were having a birthday party for my daughter, and when everybody found out that was the Kentucky Derby, they had forgotten about it. All they could do is try to get an app so they could bet. Like 5 people at my party were like, "Oh my God, I forgot to put my bet. Where's my bet?" I hope the horses are fine. Hope nobody dies. It was like, I got to bet.
So a big reason why American horse racing is definitely different than, say, with other first world countries, the horse racing industry has largely existed under a patchwork set of rules across the dozens of states that host horse racing. For example, each state can have different standards on the use of whips during a race, and even the types of medication horses can be given. There is no league.
So there's not like an international committee that designates what can and can't be done across the entire form of horse racing globally.
Like how the NBA has one set of standards and rules.
Right.
That's not a thing in horse racing. So it really opens up the door for some black magic, nocturnal cheating alley stuff.
And you go back to how do things really change in a grand scale very quickly? It's public pressure. And when really the only attention your sport receives on a major level is that event where we're all trying to rush to bet on it and put our fancy hats on, we do end up getting lost in what is the sort of awkward tragedy part of the
It is one of those
equation.
things, because culturally back in the 50s, this was a norm. Your dad went to the track. Dad went to the track. He took you to the track as a kid. You went to the track. You learn how to bet the horses. You learn how to bet the ponies. You learn how to do that. It was part of our culture for many, many years. It's just kind of fallen out of order. I mean, I think are there even horse tracks in South Florida now? Because that used to be like the epicenter, right?
I think there are. I went to one a few years ago.
Yeah, Glenn Klausman used to tell us stories about his dad taking him to the horse track. Like, that was a big part of the interaction, is on a Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon going to the track with your dad, making some bets. All right, 407-916-1041 here with Brandon Kravitz from 96.9 The Game, talking a little sports. Ross mentioned the NBA, and I have to tell you, buddy.
I told you.
The NBA is on one right now. These playoff games have been so oddly, the ones that have been the least entertaining are the two teams everybody wanted to see play the most, and that's the Lakers and the Warriors. It's been blowout punch after blowout punch. Man, this Sixers series is incredible. This Suns Nuggets series has been so much fun.
Yeah, no, and I think the reason why we're getting this across the board is the level of parity that we see in the league right now, where you really don't know. You don't know who the best team is. The Celtics feel like at their best, they should be better than everybody else, but man, they mess around a lot, and they did again on Sunday.
You know what I love about it so much, buddy? This is what I like about this so much, and we talked about this a little bit before the show today. There's no one really dominant star that is good enough to carry a team all the way through. I mean, we thought that was Giannis, but they're out in the first round.
They got hurt.
But it doesn't matter though. What to me, what it shows is it still takes a good team a great night to win, and that's what you want, right? You don't want it to be where teams come in and are so loaded, or it seems so overwhelming that there's no actual competition. Look, as a glancing NBA fan, I have found this to be fascinating. Like, wow, man, any given day, I mean, this Warriors-Lakers series have shown you, man, any given day, one guy can step up and make a giant difference. AD plays great. They look good. AD doesn't play great. They don't look all that good.
Yeah.
And you can say the same thing with Steph and Clay. It's just fun to watch that because, like you said, you really don't know who's going to win any night. It's great.
And I think what happens, there it goes. I think what happens is we end up clouded in our view of the NBA by what we saw in generations of Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, these guys that were single-handedly great enough in their prime to be auto ads to the NBA Finals.
Put the franchise on their shoulders and go.
It just doesn't really work like that.
It's great.
And the NBA is flushed with incredible talent.
And unbelievable talent.
But what we've witnessed over the last 30 years are some of the greatest basketball players at the tippy top of the mountain, that Mount Rushmore that have populated this league. What we have right now is clean across the board. Every single one of these teams has a guy where you go, holy crap.
Oh, man.
I mean, if he plays his A game, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Devin Booker has been insane. He scored 73 points in 2 games over the weekend.
At close to 80% field goal percentage.
Right. And then you got a guy like Harden who's been in the league, just been beating it up. One of the most prolific scorers in the history. You know, maybe toward the end of his career. I mean, we could agree to that, right? Harden's probably got a few more years.
Yeah, because he hasn't really taken care of his body great. So he's in his mid-30s, but he's like...
They still lean on him
He's like mid-30s, like 90s mid-30s. New age mid-30s is still at the back end of your prime, but for James Harden, the fact that he has 2 40-plus point games in this series against Boston is truly miraculous because he hasn't really been that guy in a couple of years.
You know what else I love about this series? And this is something that I think's been lost on sport across the board, Brandon. What's weird? There are no real emotional players anymore, right? I mean, I shouldn't say that. They're not allowed to be emotional, right? We've seen like sports leagues muted by their commissioner saying, "Hey, don't celebrate, don't do this, don't act too happy, or we're going to penalize you." Man, I don't know if it's just me. It just seems like these players are playing with an intensity that's different than it used to be. I mean, they're fighting for every basket. That's what I remember basketball being like during the Knicks years and the Jordan years, and the Pistons years. Like you had to. That's a bit of a fight to win.
Yeah,
I think that a little bit of that's back, and I think that's fun to watch.
I think that's where you go back to that parity, where when you're on a bit more of an even playing field, what's the difference between one team to another? Who wants it more?
Right.
And so those teams are exhibiting that. You mentioned that we should not go to the end of this segment without mentioning Jimmy Butler because nobody exemplifies that in the playoffs more than this guy.
It's nails.
Jimmy Buckets.
He just nails.
He is playing like the best player on planet Earth over the course of this postseason.
Yeah, if that guy hits the court with your jersey on, you're feeling pretty darn good about your chances.
Everything that I've ever heard you say you love about athletes, he embodies every bit of that.
Every damn bit of it. I love him.
Yeah.
And I just like people who hate losing. It's just so much fun to watch them play and try to figure out a way to win, even if they don't have their best stuff.
Yeah.
Even if their team doesn't have their best stuff, just figure out a way to noodle your way through there so that you can get the points you need for your team to win. And that guy is like the master of that.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, he is lights out, and he's telling guys to their face, "You can't stop me." And then is backing it up with his play. So
Unreal.
He's talking trash, and he's playing great on top of it. They take the court again tonight at home against the New York Knicks, and the Knicks don't seem to have any answer for him at all.
No. I don't think anybody does. It's going to be fun to watch. These series have been great. I hope the next series of the conference championships turn out to be just as exciting as well. Let's move on to Orlando City Soccer because we have a few minutes left, and those guys were on the road to Montreal this week.
Yes, played a solid first half, still having trouble generating some offense, but they scored an own goal in the second, and that kind of gave Montreal the confidence they needed. They were able to score again, and it was a shutout, not going the way of Orlando City. Really disappointing performance.
So they've actually scored more for other people on the road?
No, as of last week, yes. As of this weekend, they scored.
Even calling that an own goal, I think, is pretty brutal. It is an own goal. It hits off of him, but
it's a deflection.
Yeah, it's a shot, and then he gets in the way trying to deflect it, and then it still finds the back of the net.
Don't picture like a 5-year-old own goal.
And
this is like a professional
like
one.
they thought they were kicking it in the right place.
I did do that once when I was 5.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, I saw a kid on a basketball team make a layup on his wrong goal and swag it out. It was funny.
It's if you look at Orlando City's form right now, I'm pretty sure it's win-loss, win-loss, win-loss.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we are.
Little leapfrog action.
You know, we are consistent in our inconsistency.
Well, there you go. Montreal, by the way, has posted 3 straight shutout games for the first time in the last 4 years. So kind of caught a hot Montreal has not been good this year up until this past month. So it kind of caught a team at home at the wrong time.
What else out there has your attention? We get about a minute.
Well, the NHL postseason has been really good, and the Florida Panthers have been an incredible story. They're up 3-0 on the Toronto Maple Leafs, so they're about to bounce another Canadian team. It's amazing because this is their sport. This is Canada's sport. They cannot break through in the NHL, and here you have teams from Florida, the Panthers, the Lightning,
the least
that just
likely
knock these teams out every year.
It'd be like the Bahamians having an ice hockey team that beats you if you're from Canada. It'd be the same.
Yeah, the new Cool Runnings movie is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I one last thing, because I got to get this out there. So I saw a familiar face on television doing a familiar thing.
What is that?
Is Pat Williams trying to bring baseball back to Orlando again with the stupidest name in the history of sports names across every sport from cricket to badminton? Orlando Dreamers for baseball?
You would be correct. The effort is very similar to the one that he launched in 2019. In fact, I have received an email as of today that there will be an announcement, what is called a major media announcement tomorrow afternoon at 2:30.
Okay.
In regards to their plan for a potential stadium in the city of Orlando. What they're trying to do is zoom to the top of the list for the tourist dollars tax bill. They want the task force to put them first. Meanwhile, you have Camping World Stadium and other entities that want that money.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody wants their piece of the pie, but what Pat Williams has proposed is a $1.7 billion baseball stadium that would be right across the street from SeaWorld. So he's got an idea. Can he find the money to back it?
So what? I mean, they're not going to get a new franchise. They're handing out franchises. They're trying to draw the Rays over?
It would be either way. Either you get the Rays to hop over because they can't get a stadium deal figured out.
That's what I would figure because that's the timing. I mean, they're trying to do that now.
Major League Baseball has made it very clear that in the next couple of years they're going to expand into probably about 4 other markets.
Wow.
At least 2 other markets.
Wow, man.
Because they have 30 baseball teams right now. I think they want to get to 32. So it's stiff competition out there. Charlotte, Vegas is getting the A's, so they're out of it. You've got Charlotte, Montreal wants to get a team back. Nashville's put their full effort into getting a team.
And Nashville
Nashville's
has
big time
shown
up and
that they can support that kind of team.
Yeah.
If I'm going to watch the Yankees lose, I'd much rather only drive 45 minutes instead of 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
No,
that should
I
make
hope
traffic down there a lot better too.
I hope it happens. I just don't think it's the right front man. I know that Pat Williams did incredible things in the 80s. I just think that you need somebody else to be on the forefront of this. And really more than anything else, rather than dragging an 83-year-old's name through the mud, is that it needs political support. If you don't have that, that and real financial backing, all you have is an 80-year-old that came up with a bad logo.
So he needs $1.7 billion. He needs political support. I'm starting to think calling them the Dreamers is pretty appropriate.
How about
that was great. That was a great line.
There you go. All right, buddy, give it up for Brandon Kravitz.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Right,
I love that guy.
96.9 The Game every day from 3 until 6. You can hear him right there. He's the voice of the Orlando Magic.
I am not the voice of the Orlando Magic. That is the great Jake Chapman. I am just there for emotional support.
No, you do the radio broadcast.
I
man. You
do.
a damn good job.
I'm not the voice of the.
I know, buddy. I'm just joking with you.
I'm the voice of sports on Real Radio, though.
You are.
You can tell Angel I said that.
Oh,
shots fired.
I heard he got nominated. You got to be careful. Orlando Weekly. I mean, he already got nominated. Yeah, you could be the sport.
I think I finished higher than him on the last one.
I thought he did. You?
I think I did.
Okay, well, I'll have to look. I think you were the guy, actually, weren't you? Didn't you win?
I didn't win. I was second to Mark Daniels,
Mark Daniels,
but I finished second.
Yeah.
But I'm up and coming. I'm like Nashville. I'm like the Nashville of sports talk radio hosts in Orlando.
Silver talent.
Yeah.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Tonight we'll see clear skies, the low 66 degrees. Far north of Orlando, there could be some patchy fog toward daybreak. Tomorrow, the high 91 with mostly sunny skies. Then for Wednesday and Thursday, temperatures warming up into the mid-90s, but there will be an afternoon storm chance both days. Toward the end of the week, our rain chances will once again drop off. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome at the end of your first year. They automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right. Everything you've earned, doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
Any size iced coffee is only $1.29 at 7-Eleven with 7 rewards. But it's not just iced coffee. It's sacred. It's the crunch of the ice as it tumbles into your cup. It's that blissful moment when you take your first sip. Your daily ritual, a form of self-care even. It's your soul in a cup. Some say you can't put a price on a love like that. But we did! It's $1.29 any size iced coffee at 7-Eleven with 7 rewards. Offer good through 6/27/23 plus tax. See app for details.
Guys, let me tell you something. If you need a new bathroom, our friends over at Rebath in Mid-Florida can do that for you. I had somebody contact me today saying, hey, man, are they for real? I'm like, yep, they're 100%, 1,000% for real. They have the products that you're going to love. They look amazing. And the people who own this company are two of the coolest people you'll ever meet in your life. And that makes a difference. It does. Dave Denbauer and his son Josh are great human beings. And yes, they're in the bathroom business, which means you not only get great service, you're going to get great products and installation as well. And you can actually see this before you even buy it at their showroom, which is easy to find, 436 up in Altamont, right across from Kobe. Walk in and see the models they have set up, and those models are just there to show you the products, guys. Every bathroom at Rebath is a custom bathroom. They even have a design team to help you whittle through your ideas with their products, come up with a design that you are going to love. Here's the other best thing. These guys can really create those bathrooms you see on television, in the magazines, all those beautiful trends. They have the stuff for it, including natural stone like travertine and marble and all those beautiful colors. Hop online, check out their before and afters, then book your appointment. Your new bathroom is easy to find right there in Altamont Springs at rebathmidfla.com.
Now, it's your time to make more money and be your own boss. Come to the Franchise Show on May 20th and 21st at the Hyatt Regency Orlando to meet with the best money-making franchises. Learn how you can open a successful business. This life-changing event is your only chance to see all the hottest money-making opportunities in one place. Find the perfect business for you at the Franchise Show, presented by the Entrepreneur's Source, May 20th and 21st, the Hyatt Regency Orlando. Get tickets at floridafranchiseshow.com.
If you own a business with at least 5 employees and were operational during COVID, then you could be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund up to $26,000 per employee. This is not a loan, and you do not need to pay this back. Visit governmentaid.com today. Their team of ERC experts will navigate this complex process and file on your behalf. They've helped tens of thousands of businesses obtain billions. Act today. Visit governmentaid.com to see if your business qualifies.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Get top deals on everything you need to freshen up your yard, like the Cobalt 24-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit, only at Lowe's. Was $199, now just $149. Plus, get your lawn in shape with up to $15 off select Scott's Easy Seed Lawn Repair Mixes. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Scott's offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back, Up Singers.
Backup singers. So right before this important meeting, I get a text from EasyCater that the restaurant lost power.
No electricity.
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
She said sarcastically.
But EasyCater was like, don't worry.
No sweat.
They got another restaurant to fill the whole order.
The whole order.
And I was like, are you kidding me? But in a good way.
Inflection is everything.
Problem with your order? EasyCater has your back with over 100,000 restaurants.
EasyCater.
Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com.
They got your back.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order, so every bite is hot and juicy every time. Because we love making you a burger that tastes exactly how it should.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious. To everyone who craves a handcrafted treat, let our team member Sephora tell you about a Culver's favorite.
We make our thick and creamy fresh frozen custard in small batches all throughout the day. And we mean all day, every day. From our supremely rich shakes and concrete mixers to our freshly scooped dishes and cones, we handcraft every bite to pure perfection. Making you a sweet treat with care is the best part of my day.
Come to Culver's and get a taste of our fresh frozen custard. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
I went to Seminole Community for 2 years. They tried to keep me in another year, and I argued my way out of that and finally got to UCF. And then UCF, I even stuck there another half a year after my first two because of classes they said I had to take. Then they tried to keep me there for another half a semester, and I finally argued my way out of that. What I found out is they wanted to suck up all my Bright Futures money from the state first.
Oh, wow. Well, what they're saying in that story, by the way, he was referring to a story where we're just talking about community college, and parents out there, if you are just tuning in and have plans to send your kids, because, summer's coming up, and then, of course, in the fall, you'll be registering for school. You need to double check that the community college that you choose, whether it be Valencia, Seminole here locally, or out of state, make sure those credits are going to transfer to the college that you are planning going to after the fact, because what people are finding out in that phone call, or that talkback you just heard is indicative, and Deborah can confirm that, of text after text that we got during that original segment saying that very same thing, that people had gone to school. They found that a lot of their credits didn't transfer, either had to take those credits back over or figure something else out. And we also know via that story that it leads to about 1 in 7 people who decide to go to community college to quit and never go back. Only 1 in 7 wind up getting their 4-year degree after that. So, again, that's just almost like a little public service announcement we did a little bit earlier. 407-916-1041. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. If you'd like to leave a talk back, we can do that easily. Just go and grab the iHeartRadio app and then go to Real Radio. You'll see that microphone. Just use it to send it on down. You can even edit it to make sure it's perfect.
Help Jack out.
Yeah, helps Jack out a lot. He doesn't have to do any extra work.
Oh, we want you to sound good on the air, and we want the show to sound good. We'd love to have your comments, but sometimes if you left your window down and you're driving, or just for some reason the quality's not there, we just can't put it on the air.
Right. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good for the show. So interestingly, we hear a lot about AI and robots as we move forward. This is not an AI story per se,
but it's a robot story.
It is a robot story.
Yeah, that's about time.
It is very interesting. So this is via the BBC, and it talks about this iRobot or humanoid robot called iCub. And iCub looks to be like a little human person, almost looks like the grill of a Tesla with eyes. It's adorable. It sits there. It looks like a human. And I guess the whole idea of iCub is, you're going to interact with this as a student. It's like a childlike size. It's got very expressive eyes. Its gaze is very compelling, it says. But there's one specific thing that they had a very difficult time figuring out with this robot in how it interacted with people, and something that the robot does or didn't do that made people that interacted with it very uncomfortable, and it took them forever to figure it out.
Blink.
Blinking is the answer.
Yeah, man, it's weird when people don't blink.
So right off the bat, it was so interesting because what it really boils down to is how important blinking is to people when they're talking to each other. And, buddy, let me tell you, this story is effing fascinating. It talks about how the people who are interacting with this robot, how their expression, everything changed. Their answers, they were like, what is going on? Why is this not going? And they figured out that the people, when they started talking to the people they're interacting with, they figured out the robot doesn't blink, or it only blinks like at a certain time intervals, right?
Yeah.
Like not like humans. Like when a human can go for a while, you'll talk. It's completely subconscious. You don't even know you're doing it. It's involuntary, right? But
I don't know what you mean.
I know exactly. But what they said is, as a human, you pick up on that as fast as you do anything. So theoretically, I could have a conversation with Ross for a couple of minutes or whatever, and if I don't blink, he will notice it. Now, he might not say anything, but subconsciously his body is picking up and his brain is picking up on the fact that, hey, this guy's not blinking. So therefore, you're not paying attention to what's being said. There's a lot of kind of the factors that went into it. It was amazing, this story, about and how difficult it was to make the blinking of the robot seem natural and not programmed.
How many times have you blinked just on this segment?
Oh, man, I've just started counting them when I talked about it.
Yeah, you brought it up, and now I can't stop, and now I feel like I have a twitch or something.
Very, very interesting stuff. And they said, research with 13-year-olds and adults in Italy showed that both groups simply like blinking robots more.
Yeah.
Unblinking robots can give the person an unpleasant impression of being stared at.
Yeah, that's a cold take there, Italy.
You don't want this robot checking you out and trying to figure yours out, because if they're not blinking, you think they're studying you.
Stop looking at me.
But it is very, I don't know, it's interesting, very funny that we as humans are like, oh, I hate this thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's not blinking.
Exactly.
Forget about my job.
It says humans also perceive robots that blink more naturally as more intelligent. And it says that intelligence matters in situations where humans depend on robots to provide information. So basically what it came down to is people who were working with the robots that didn't blink, they didn't trust them. They just didn't trust what they were saying, or they didn't consider it to be more or authentic as the ones who had, that involuntary blinking mechanism.
Pretty crazy that we just blink without even thinking about it.
Blinks are one of the most subtle forms of human movement. Designing mechanisms that can mimic these movements require advanced technology and high-precision motors. So to make it look natural, like you're simply blinking to clean your eyes or do whatever, is more difficult than you could think, because humans, and this goes back to my whole defense against AI, humans have there's a natural reception to that. To every move your face makes, every muscle that you move, a human can apply an emotion or a situation to that.
Well, I think, isn't it close to 96% of all of our communication is nonverbal?
Yeah, nonverbal. Yep.
So, and blinking, exaggerated blinking is one of the signs they look for lying, high levels of anxiety. It's kind of a hiding the truth, right? You keep trying to close your eyes without closing your eyes. So
they said also one of the other things is like when the thing blinks, if a motor makes a sound, not good. like a camera shutter going off.
Oh, yeah,
no.
Click, click.
Oh, it's so creepy.
What we really need to worry about is when these robots start winking.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole different.
All right, Hal, calm down.
Whole different machine.
I'm waistbanding.
And as they started talking about it to the people and started getting deeper in the study, then they're like, then it wasn't if it blinked at all. How long did it blink? Did it blink slow? Did it blink fast? Did it blink often? Did it blink 3 times in a row? Did it blink once and not blink for another 30 seconds? And it became a thing. Like the humans were on top of the magnificent technology of this thing talking to you in real time. People are like, I don't know, the eyes are weird. It's like, oh no, I don't know, the blinking is weird. This thing is doing everything you could possibly do,
except all the evolutionary things that have what made us a human.
Exactly.
So,
It's like War of the Worlds, right?
The weirdest thing during this whole section is being aware of how often you're blinking.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And it just seems so random because you don't pay it. It's like how often do you breathe? You're not paying attention.
Not at all.
It's just involuntary.
It's like our human tail. How many times do you blink in an hour?
Oh,
Whoa.
I don't even know.
Right? You don't even know that you're blinking.
They even say that cats slow blink is a way of communicating with their owners. So eyes and communicating with other sentient living beings has, again, it's evolved, and now we're trying to teach machines to do it.
Yeah. 900 to 1,200 times an hour.
Wow.
That's how many times you'd be blinking.
And I'll give you some scary information here. What company do you think was really interested in this study?
Google.
No.
SpaceX.
No. Here closer. And it makes sense.
Microsoft.
NASA.
Disney.
Disney.
Because they build robots that talk to kids and stuff.
Well,
They
yeah.
went in and
Welcome to the Hall of Presidents.
It says over at Disney Research, robotists have joined forces with character animators to develop a research prototype for realistic robot gaze. They are going to basically have an animator figure out exactly how this thing should blink so it seems more humanistic.
Oh man, the Biden animatronic keeps blinking. Now it's sleeping. We designed it like that.
All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec.
It's back. The 2023 Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival, May 16th through the 29th in Lock Haven Park. Tickets available now at orlandofringe.org.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Still looking at your normal afternoon delays on I-4 right now between 536 and Central Florida Parkway and between the 408 and Robinson Street. Still looking at a crash blocking multiple lanes southbound on the Greenway near the Celebration Main Toll Plaza. Another crash causing major delays on Hiawassee between Willowwood Street and Silver Star Road. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Take 5 Oil Change. At Take 5, they're faster than you think. That means they'll change your oil and have you back on the road before you can count all the change in your center console. Cha-ching, baby! Just sit back and relax while their fast, friendly team does all the work. Take 5, the stay-in-your-car 10-minute oil change.
Every morning, start your day getting caught up with West 2 News Sunrise.
I'm Meredith McDonough.
And I'm Jason Guy. Here for you with breaking news from around Central Florida.
We want to get back to that breaking news out of Orange County.
Giving you an accurate forecast to plan your day by.
We're also starting off with some cloud cover.
And steering you clear of the backups to make your commute a breeze.
Your travel times out the door are looking pretty good this morning.
Wake up knowing you're ready for today with Jason, Mare, Kellyanne, and Megan. Wake up with West 2 News Sunrise. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m.
Kelly's all new.
Hello, Clarkson.
Every weekday.
Let's do it, Kelly.
Give your day a little love. Oh my gosh. A little joy.
Happy puppy day.
A little laugh.
Well, I'm really hard of hearing. I can't hear that well.
You're going to fit right in on this show because I'm loud. Give your day a little Kelly.
It's this. This is her name. Oh, yeah.
Weekdays at 3 on West 2, followed by West 2 News at 4.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, our members are at the very heart of our mission. That's why this Military Appreciation Month, instead of hearing about free active duty checking accounts, great rates, and exclusive member deals, we thought you might want to hear a special thank you message from your friends and family.
Hi! Special shout outs to my dad, grandfather, brother, and uncles for serving their country. You are my heroes. Happy Military Appreciation Month.
Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Army Captain Cody DeWald. I want to thank you for all that you do for our family, son, and happy Military Appreciation Month.
Hi, wishing my husband, retired U.S. Navy Lieutenant Commander David Day, a happy Military Appreciation Month. Thank you for being our hero.
And from all of us here, happy Military Appreciation Month. Commitment connects us. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Claremont Brewing Company in downtown Claremont is your place for craft beer, cocktails, artisanal food, and live music. The most fun you can have drinking beer. Claremont Brewing, official sponsor of Beer of the Week on the Monsters in the Morning. Claremont Brewing Company, downtown Claremont.
Life is full of ifs. If you see potential in every day, if you push for that promotion, and even bigger ifs like if you say, I do. If you can cash flow like a pro and get paid up to 2 days early, if you can safeguard against surprises and supercharge your savings, the if in life becomes less iffy. Regions Life Banking makes it possible. If you're interested.
Let's talk about the if in life. Regions Bank, embrace the if in life.
Regions Bank, member FDIC.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in because they are making a profit from you. That's the law. Yet many times a normal day ends with injuries because that business breached that duty because they knew or should have known of the dangerous condition that caused your injury. It happens every day in many ways. Slip and falls where cleaning and maintenance were ignored, falling boxes and items stacked too high, and so many other unexpected occurrences and dangers only known to that business owner. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, let our team investigate and report back to you. The duty to protect customers from harm is the law, and our duty is to protect you after that harm. Visit forthepeople.com for more information, or on your cell phone, dial #law. That's all. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. forthepeople.com.
Stop by your neighborhood Petco to save on your pet's favorite brands like Blue Buffalo, Iams, Wholehearted, and Purina Pro Plan. And when your pet needs to see a vet, Petco Vet Services can take care of vaccinations, flea, tick, and heartworm prevention, and more. Don't forget, your pet always wants to look their best, so make a grooming appointment while you're there. You'll get every 8th groom free when you unlock the grooming perk in our app. Visit your nearest Petco or go to petco.com to start saving on all your pet's needs.
The podcast Death Island explores the mysterious deaths of at least 19 tourists at an exotic vacation destination in Thailand. Some blame local mafia activity. Others say it's a family of serial killers. But one thing is certain. In this beautiful place, no coast is clear.
A dark cloud has come over the island and cast its shadow. Death, mystery, and danger.
Listen to Death Island on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial #546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
How can you say Rick Scott's blinking habits were natural? He would freak me out. I would look at his eyes. It was like, wait, I gotta blink. Did he blink? What is going? I mean, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah. Disney built him with the good software. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We appreciate it as we do every single day. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. The weather was absolutely perfect all weekend. Last night it was actually even a little bit chilly, if you can imagine.
I don't remember it being this nice in May.
My God, it's so beautiful. That's all we could talk about as we were walking around the park. It's like, it is absolutely perfect out here, man. All right,
just wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
May is the best.
Yeah, it is.
For solar.
407-916-1041. Is it really?
Yeah, it is. And it's the combination of heat and sun activity, at least in this area of Florida, over the years. May is always my best month. As it gets hotter in the summer, that kind of knocks down the performance a little bit. But May is always the peak month for me.
House just went up for sale in our neighborhood, and it has a solar garden. So they didn't put the panels on their roof because, as Jack found out, when you put your panel on your roof and then you have to buy a new roof, you have to pay like $5 to have them take the panels down and then put them back up. But if you put them off to the side and run the power into the house from the side, you don't have to worry about doing any of that. And if you need a new roof, you don't have to pay the extra money. And it's just a giant, like 15 by 20 panel of it.
And it's great if you got the property.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. If you have the property, it definitely works. If not, it does not. And that's exactly the case. I mean, he's got it out there where it gets sun the entire time. And I looked it up today, and a panel that size creates about $150 a month in free power. So, I mean, it's a pretty big house. It's a big house. I'm sure it's considerably more than $150 a month to power it, but even one aspect of it would be fine. You know, I mean, ours, it wouldn't kill all of ours, but it would be pretty cool. You know, when the money balanced out, right? Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. We did put up another question today. I know it doesn't go over to our YouTube channel, but we do have another question of the day. We have one up earlier now, but I want to add this one because it was an interesting number that just came out. What do you guys think Americans are doing more than they ever have done in history?
Masturbating.
No.
Drink.
No.
Social influencers.
No. How can I whittle this down where you have a shot?
Give us a subject matter.
Let's say.
Yeah, feed me.
In the context of employment.
Gig work?
This number is the highest in the history of our country.
Okay, so what we saw with the pandemic is the Great Resignation.
Right.
So people working for themselves.
Well, actually, Jack, can I tell you? I think that's pretty darn close. I'll give it to you. Give yourself a ding. Short one.
Yeah.
Okay, short. All right, short.
There you go. That's what it
that's
deserves.
good, yeah.
According to
Deb
data,
approves.
according to data from the U.S. Census, how many people do you think filed for a new business application?
Ooh.
In other words, people opening a new business. How many people do you believe? Now, this number comes from 2021, so it is a couple of years old. But I mean, I think that's the last census was in 20, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So they've had this data a year later. How many people do you think filed an application for a new business in the United States of America in 2021?
I'll open her up. I'll go 1.7 mil.
1.7 million. Deb, what say you?
5.2 million.
5.2 million. What do you say, Jackson?
I'm shooting the gap.
Are you shooting the gap?
I'm shooting the gap.
Shoot at the guy.
3 million.
Give Deb a dong.
What?
5.4 million people.
Wait for it.
What'd you say?
No. Wow.
5.4 million new business applications were filed in 2021. Just to give you an idea of how big of a deal that is, because a lot of people wouldn't have a reference number there, right? You're like, okay, 5.4 million. There's 350 million people in this country. Give me a reference point. How many do you think there were in 2019?
1.7 million.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I will go 1.6.
What the hell, Jack?
You got a choice.
1.5.
Okay, hey,
I
all
went
right.
low.
And you chose wrong. Give him the ding.
Yes.
Yay!
That is a 53% increase from 2019. 53%. So only about 2.5 million or 2.2 million people did that in 2 years earlier. So what caused people to open up their own businesses, twice as much?
Jobs.
Almost twice as much.
Man, that's such a crazy fact. I've always thought this. It's unfortunate, but I think this way. Full-time jobs are dream killers. You cannot fulfill your wildest ambitions working 40 to 50 hours a week at a job. Pandemic happens, bye-bye job. All of a sudden, that dream part of your brain, I've always wanted to do that. I have the time. Let's give it a ride. Let's find out. Etsy made a profit the first month.
Yeah.
Let me keep going. Jobs are dream killers. I don't know if jobs are designed for that, but that's what they do. Well, they stay undefeated with that.
Unless that job is your dream.
Yes.
Okay, so that's and of course that comes into play as well. People go to college for a specific job, and I can see where you're talking about though, because it doesn't allow you time to be creative on your own. But a lot of people who look at life like that will only work a job until they complete their dream of applying for that business or whatever. One of the other things they say, and I agree 100%, that's true. It definitely has a lot to do with the pandemic. One of the other aspects of this is this. What do you think it is, real quick? What do you think one of the other reasons it doubled? Because it's actually kind of interesting.
A texter points out the PPP loans, like the loans available for private businesses, so people would start a business to take advantage of that.
That does have a little bit of it. There's another aspect that's a little greater than that.
Being able to not have to work with a bunch of other people?
Nope. Think beyond our shores.
Being able to have...
People want to invest in this country. People come here and open up businesses. They want to come here and open up businesses. Investing in the United States, believe it or not, is still a big deal. So people come here. This comes from a group of investors. This story, people came here to get part of the American dream.
Well,
and I mean, just they pointed out one of these companies is a company called Picasso, which is Pacaso. And what they want to do is make second home ownership a reality. And here's what they do is they build a house and then sell the house to a bunch of different people as if it was a timeshare. So think about an Airbnb as a timeshare. So you get you get together with a group of people and you build, they build this house and then they sell it into, let's say, 20 people. And those 20 people get a portion of that house and they can use it a certain time of year. But it's that set house. But instead of it being a condo or a luxury resort or something like that, like you hear most timeshares being, this is different than that. Of course, California is trying to shut that down, but that's just one of the businesses that came out of this big glut of new business license. I found that pretty interesting.
Very, definitely.
Yeah, the most opportunity because the scarcity of short breeds innovation. Exactly what Ross was saying. You feel like you get trapped in that job. you're looking for an opportunity, and I think 2021 would have been a great opportunity as you sat there unemployed, thinking about that dream and able to put some time into it. You weren't able to put into it when you're pulling your hours.
Also, I mean, you know what dreams need? Hunger.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to have that real, raw, organic hunger when you're being fed once a week with your full-time job.
Record producers for years have said they hated it when their new band got all that great success because it was going to kill what drove them to be a great band to begin with. Yeah.
You know, super famous people are not on TikTok right now because they don't need to, while people who are not super famous are on TikTok.
Like crazy. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. A Super Bowl player for the Kansas City Chiefs gave an announcement at a graduation. And what he told these grads has become controversial, and you can't, in a million years, you could never guess what he said to be so controversial. I'll tell you what that is next.
This is about as good as it gets. Like and follow @RealRadio1041 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Looking at slow traffic on I-4 this afternoon as you drive westbound between the Greenway and the 429 and through downtown between Ivanhoe Boulevard and Robinson Street. Still seeing delays from the earlier crash reported southbound on the Turnpike near OBT. If you're looking for a great ride, things are moving well on the Beach Line and the Greenway. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa's new Rechargers are handcrafted energy drinks to help you power through your day. Made the way you want, iced or frozen, with natural sources of caffeine. Get energy for every day. Gotta have a Wawa.
2 questions posted for the Jim Colbert Show question of the day. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We have it in those 3 places. And it's all brought to you by WeAreNotTheBanks.com. Brad Siebert and the team, direct mortgage lenders. This is what they do. Whether you're looking for a new home, they secure you the mortgage, the financing for that home. Maybe this is the year you find your dream home. WeAreNotTheBanks.com can help. Working with all types of buyers, good credit, even bumps in your credit. Brad and the team can work with you with all types of loans, VA loans, conventional loans, jumbo loans of all sizes, even no income documentation loans. Maybe you're just looking for a refi. Guess what? They do that as well. WeAreNotTheBanks.com. It's where I went for my refi several years ago. Fast, easy, and I got a great rate. Just get started today. The website is WeAreNotTheBanks.com. NMLS ID number 66247, equal housing opportunity.
This hour is sponsored by Barks in the City, June 3rd at Apopka Amphitheater.
Unexpected expenses don't exactly come with an installment plan.
What if they could? An Amscot installment cash advance from $100 to $1,000 could mean more money and more time to pay it back. Amscot, some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
I had a radio listener call me after an accident. The insurance company offered him $700. He hired me that day and we recovered $100,000. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Potential clients may not obtain same or similar results. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, our members are at the very heart of our mission. That's why this Military Appreciation Month, instead of hearing about free active duty checking accounts, great rates, and exclusive member deals, we thought you might want to hear a special thank you message from your friends and family.
Hi! Special shout-outs to my dad, grandfather, brother, and uncles for serving their country. You are my heroes. Happy Military Appreciation Month.
Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Army Captain Cody DeWald. I want to thank you for all that you do for our family, son, and happy Military Appreciation Month.
Hi. Wishing my husband, retired U.S. Navy Lieutenant Commander David Day, a happy Military Appreciation Month. Thank you for being our hero.
And from all of us here, happy Military Appreciation Month. Commitment connects us. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Get top deals on everything you need to freshen up your yard, like the Cobalt 24-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit, only at Lowe's. Was $199, now just $149. Plus, get your lawn in shape with up to $15 off select Scott's Easy Seed Lawn Repair Mixes. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Scott's offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Look, some choices in life are complicated. Others, thankfully, are much simpler. Like choosing Truist One Checking. There are no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and when your life evolves and account balances grow, we'll upgrade your perks automatically. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
These days, there are plenty of things to worry about, but keeping pests out of your home shouldn't be one of them. That's why you need Massey Services. Massey eliminates pests before they get inside. They start by carefully inspecting the inside and outside of your home and then focus customized treatments on the outside. Best of all, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
Managing healthcare for yourself, your kids, your aging parents, it's a lot to keep track of everything. Now you have help. Welcome to Village Medical, a whole new kind of primary care that's a lot more caring. Here, your doctor really gets to know your family's needs and coordinates all their visits, labs, even prescriptions. Plus, you can make same-day appointments or schedule video or at-home visits, all covered by most insurance. It sounds different because it is different. Go to villagemedical.com and become a patient today.
Your spark is all you need. And let's be real, you don't have time for smoke and mirrors anyway. So ditch all the pretentiousness and the lighter it rode in on with Blue. Blue e-cigs are available in a variety of satisfying flavors and nicotine strengths. Even better, it's odorless. When you're living unlit, you're comfortable being your true you. And no one will mistake ashtray for your signature scent. Blue. Get unlit. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Blue is a trademark of Font Molding 4BV. Copyright 2022. Fontum US LLC.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
Rover's Morning Glory.
It's The Woody Show.
It's Elliot in the Morning.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
All of the best free curated playlists.
It's everything that rocks.
All of the great podcasts for every interest.
This is Freddie Prinze Jr. from the Wrestling with Freddie podcast.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome. All of your favorite superstars.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
You can watch radio being made on a daily basis at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
I've heard that if you slow blink a cat, they will trust you more. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but whatever.
That's called a talkback. You, as well, could send one. Cost you nothing. Just download the iHeartRadio app, something you should already have because it's dope. So much free content. It's completely insane, to be quite honest with you, that we offer that for free. Completely bananas. Playlists from artists, podcasts. I mean, it's the biggest podcasting platform out there. And they literally give it to you. And when you get it, you can use it to send us a talkback. Just download that when you find Real Radio. Like it. Like our show, please. That helps a lot. And then use it to send it on down.
Hey.
Welcome back. I'm Jim. Jack and Ross are here as well. So I was telling you guys before the break that a Chiefs player went out there and made an unbelievable statement, guys. He's the kicker. Harrison Butker is the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. He has 2 Super Bowl rings.
You okay, Deb?
He's a good kicker.
2 Super Bowl rings. He is a good kicker, right? So he goes to Georgia Tech, right? And he's going to do a speech at Georgia Tech, the commencement speech, right? All the people who are graduating are going to look to this guy, dual Super Bowl ring winner, you know.
A great honor.
Professional Chief, or professional football player for the Chiefs, a great honor. What advice do you think he gave the audience of students graduating that was so controversial, Ross? What would you think it would be?
He looked at him and said, man, listen, sometimes it's not going your way. And what I want you to do, cheat.
Okay.
You got to fake it till you make it.
Okay, perfect. So you told them to fake it till they make it. Actuality isn't as important as you think it is.
Yeah, don't be afraid to Tanya Hardin somebody.
Oh, very good. Not a bad guess, not the answer.
My answer was not too far off from Ross's, but just that your grades don't matter. All you have to do is graduate. Your GPA, not important.
Yeah,
C's get degrees.
Right, okay. So that's actually a very good guess as well. Not right. Deb, what do you think Harrison Butker said to the graduating class of Georgia Tech that was so unbelievably controversial they wrote a story about it? I can't believe you guys haven't heard about this in the news. I can because it wasn't in the news.
You're going to have to work hard, and even then, life ain't fair.
You know what? And again, can I tell you? That's exactly what I would have said. I would have said that. Can I tell you? I have said that to people. Hey, buddy, guess what? Work your balls off. You're not going to get the breaks. It doesn't work like that, and you're not guaranteed anything, right? That's why it's so much like poker. You can play perfectly and still lose. It happens, right?
Yeah.
Or you can play like a douchebag and win. It happens like that, too.
Like me.
That is not. That is not what he said. And no texting service. It wasn't smoke weed every day.
Still.
It was this.
Solid advice.
He gets up to the mic and says, I'm about to pop off some hard truths to you guys. He goes, I'm not sure the root of this, but I can offer one controversial antidote that I will believe will have a lasting impact for generations to come. All of you guys out there, get married and start a family. He told the graduating class that the best thing he ever did in his life that led him to the success that put him on that stage to talk to them that day was being married and having a family and being focused on that. He said, if you are, or you'll love this. This is a great quote, by the way. He goes, it does not matter how much money you attain or the amount of success that comes to you career-wise, quote, none of it will matter if you are alone and devoid of purpose. He said family gives you a focus on purpose. It gives you a partner in life. It gives you something to fight for. And that is what made the difference in my life. Not any of those anecdotes you hear from the Ivy League schools. No anecdote from a preacher or a governor or a president. Nothing like that at all. This guy simply said, and it was controversial, go get married and start a family. Before you get a career going, before you get rich, before any of that, do this thing. And that it was considered controversial. He goes, none of these accomplishments mean anything compared to the happiness I've found in my marriage and in starting a family. My confidence as a husband and a father, and yes, even as a football player, is rooted in my marriage with my wife.
Well, it sounds like his wife was at the event.
Yeah, he played that one safe.
Now, when somebody put a tweet out about this, it was kind of interesting. He's a two-time Catholic Super Bowl champ, and he calls his Instagram or his Twitter handle Butt Kicker because his last name. Anyway, so funny.
I had him in fantasy. He's great.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that? That's actually kind of an interesting take, right? I mean, a young kid gets up there talking to kids who are 21, 22 years old, coming out of school with engineering degrees their entire life ahead of them, knowing for a fact they're all pretty much going to get a good job right off the bat. They're going to start making money immediately. And this guy says, hey, ignore all that stuff you see on social. Ignore all that stuff they say is cool. What you want to do at 21 or 22 is go start a family. Go have some kids.
The whole point of a commencement speaker is for them to bring their real life experience,
right,
to talk to people who are about to have the biggest change in their life, going from their cocoon of education out into, quote, the real world. And he is speaking for himself, what has been the bedrock and foundation as he sees it to his success. Absolutely nothing wrong with him sharing.
Yeah, I cannot understand why anybody would find it controversial. I would just say, oh, that's awesome that you were able to find your answer so early in life.
I think it's the state of the times that makes the story so interesting, right? The fact that would even be considered controversial, that a young man who's successful and has found success in his marriage and stuff would stand up and say that in front of a college graduating class, and it would be considered like out of the norm.
I think finding someone to share your life with, the ups and downs, I think, is at the core of it. I don't know how deep he got into it, if he said you should also have kids.
He did that. He said start a family and have kids. 100%. Get married and start a family.
Yeah.
To me means get married and start having some kids.
Well, I mean, if your family can be you, your wife,
it could be.
and your
'cause
pet
not everyone.
armadillo.
Yeah, because not everyone can have kids.
Yeah.
or want kids.
Now, he does have this follow-up statement that kind of leads me to believe that that's what he was talking about. Quote, as we leave our mark on future generations by the children we bring into the world, how much greater of a legacy can anyone leave than that? In other words, a legacy of your very own upbringing by your children and how they behave and how they roll tells a story of how you were as a person. That's his theory there.
I think the controversy, starts with, I just don't think that's good advice.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
You're looking at a room of how many people?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna need
The
some
graduating class of Georgia Tech going to be 800, 900 people.
Call it 1,000 for the sake of the argument. You're going to tell me you're going to look at a room of 1,000 people and tell them that they all should have kids. There are some people that should not be having kids.
Even if they're smart enough to get a college degree.
What's the divorce rate at? Coin flip?
It's 51% right now, right?
51%.
Yeah.
Go get married. I just don't think that's...
But that's funny because that's exactly what he's talking about, for the record. And I'm not dogging you here on this at all, but that's exactly what he's talking about.
I'm trying to get dogged. Dog me.
That's the predominant thought process, I believe, and one of the reasons this is considered controversial is because of your age, 33, you'd look at this guy and go, what are you doing, dude? There's a whole life out there for people. And he's saying, well, if you want some solidity in your life and something to work for, maybe you want to do it this way.
And maybe what's happening is what we're really just missing the kernel at the heart of his argument. Okay, for him, getting married and having children is what helps him find purpose.
Right.
Okay? Some people can find a purpose for their life that doesn't necessarily need to include those ingredients. So maybe really what he was saying at the heart of his commencement speech is, don't just chase the money, don't just chase the success, because at the end of your life, that's really not going to mean anything.
Right.
Have a purpose beyond yourself.
I agree with that.
And for a lot of people, you don't really feel what real purpose means until you're looking at a helpless life you've just brought into the world that absolutely needs everything from you.
Yeah, he says here, I am someone, as he stepped up to the mic here, he says, I'm someone not much older than all of you, yet I've been asked to speak. Not because I'm a great orator or because I have a number of impressive accolades. Then he says, well, I guess I do have 2 Super Bowl rings.
You're a kicker.
He goes, I just happen to be blessed by God to be really good at kicking a funny shaped ball between 2 yellow posts. And then he went on to say about how he's going to pop off the truth and then drop the start a family and have kids bomb and went into that.
Of course, this would be a kicker's advice, too.
Why are you hating him? You're coming at this guy hard.
Well, because if there's anyone on a team who's going to pull the least amount of women on the road, it would be the kicker.
God almighty. When you listen to these two.
He's like the bass
wrong,
player.
dude.
He's the bass player of the team.
That's a little bit worse, because if you look at their arms and their legs every time they run out in the field, you're like, oh, look, he's so cute in his little uniform.
I think the whole argument of maybe football should just get rid of kicking. I'm like, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
No, it does not.
No, not that
You
part.
sound crazy.
No, it's different. It's a whole different game. I'm fine with kickoffs and kick returns, but to go ahead and have so many football games get determined by a guy who's touched the field for 40 seconds.
Oh, come on. Get out of here, because soccer's the same thing. Are you going to decide a game from a guy kicking a free kick?
That is
one guy against
so
one guy?
different.
Oh, it's not even close to being different.
In
It's the
soccer,
same.
you have offense and defense. And football, you have something. It's so dumb, they call it special teams.
Be very careful on that road, buddy.
I'm just saying, kicking isn't football. It's a part of it.
Oh, buddy, that is
you're leaning in hard.
That is a hot take. I mean, the kicker for UCF is like a superstar out there. That
I'm
kid Colton,
sure. That's great. What's his name?
Colton Boomer, I think is his name.
God, he's famous just off of his last name being Boomer, being a kicker.
Yeah.
No, it's a completely different aspect. The reason why he's not quoting a coach in that speech is because coaches never talk to him. Because his
God,
job...
you are the worst.
How am I wrong there? His job is to kick it in between those yellow posts. He even admits it.
One of the biggest scorers in leagues are kickers, dude. Are you kidding me? And that's why you take them during fantasy football, you hypocrite.
That's because rules, and you don't take kickers in fantasy football.
Yes, you do.
They're the last pick.
I forgot. I hate that game.
Yeah.
I do not play it. I really stepped on a mine I shouldn't have.
You grab the greatest kicker in the world. What, Vinatieri, this guy? Butker's good. Grab him. Who are you going to respect more? A middle average outside linebacker or the best kicker?
Dude, Can I tell you, you sound completely insane right now. That person is responsible for scoring multiple points you may not go to the playoffs and get that bonus check if it wasn't for that guy that's kicking that ball.
Yeah.
So you might want to pipe down there, homie.
Because of rules.
Yeah, oh, yes, exactly. What governs our lives.
Yeah. And that,
you dummy.
And it's on it's on the chopping block.
No,
that
it's not on the
argument has
chopping
been made for a fair amount recently.
And it's never coming through. Kicking will never leave the NFL. Mark my words. It'll never be gone. They may make it harder, but it'll never leave the game. It's an integral part of the game.
Yeah, and it's not my favorite part of that game.
Well, listen, buddy. You've turned this into something it shouldn't have even been. This man's trying to be a good man.
How many people would you... Let me ask you this. Do you think that's good advice? Go get married, have kids, you're in a room of 22-year-olds.
Oh, you mean like I would probably give a time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then. We can go back to the original topic where I also feel comfortable.
After you get a job that can support yourself and the family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't get into that other stuff like, hey, the kids are the magic of the life. Blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, hey, man, I saved some money. You're going to need it.
Yeah.
I got 12 friends, seven of them. I'm like, you could have a serious relationship. I got 5 friends, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? I do think that's good advice, though. I mean, you got to remember, I think what Deborah said, you're thinking of it like, oh, go out and get married and have kids. You're thinking of the marriage and the kids.
Yeah, that's what everyone's focusing on.
It's the purpose that he's really talking about, finding something that you can really focus on. And like you said, guys, this is what he did to do it. You discounting him as a player because he's a kicker is genuinely so out of character for you.
Nobody else did this.
I can barely make eye contact.
Yeah.
How am I on this stance and you're over there?
I don't even know what you're talking about now.
Like kickers, they know like 4 plays and they only run one of them.
You sound crazy. Do you not understand how nuts you sound right now?
What, that I'm pointing out that the guy who weighs 150 pounds less than everybody else on the field is a little bit different?
If you had to remove kickers from the game, would you still call it football?
Oh, that is such a great question. It really is.
What?
Number one scorer in the history of the NFL is Adam Vinatieri. What does he do for a living?
Play for 25 years.
He's a kicker. Guess who the number...
McAfee?
Let me tell you. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Matter of fact, let me tell you. All the number 1 scorers, with the exception of George Blanda, who is also a quarterback and a kicker, are kickers. The highest scorers in the NFL for the history of the sport all have a K next to their name.
You're right. I agree. Extra points, way more exciting than 2-point conversions.
Didn't say it was more exciting.
But yeah, well, I am saying that it is more exciting, and 2-point conversions taking the spot of an extra point is a far better product. But the only reason why kickers are still in it is because of tradition.
I disagree with that. I think it's a valuable part. That'd be like taking away the free kick from soccer, man. That's like it's part of the game.
That's a foul-induced occasion.
It doesn't matter. It's still part of the game. It doesn't matter. It's part of the construct of the game.
And your soccer metaphor, that would be like, all right, we're putting on the guy for this one thing, and now he's gone.
How about the designated hitter?
The DH in baseball?
Is that also a worthless sport or a worthless position?
No, because he's still playing baseball.
Oh, that's right. That's what this guy's doing. He's still playing football. I don't understand this argument of yours. It's odd.
I just think that it's called special teams. It's a whole third aspect of football. It's not offense or defense.
All right, 407-916-1041. So if you want to check this story out, it's Fox News had that this morning for Harrison Butker, who is the kicker for the Chiefs and has told the graduating class of Georgia Tech to go get some kids, get a wife. It'll make you a better person, make you more successful.
In that order?
Yeah. Get your wife after the fact. Find somebody who'll take care of them. Then look.
Guy walks in. Who are you listening to?
This guy is not going to stop. He's not going to stop. I'm listening.
Any other position versus a kicker.
Yeah. I'm listening for another 100. I'm going to listen for another 90 seconds.
Long snapper.
Oh, yeah.
Is that another bad one? How about a punter? Are punters worthless?
No.
You consider them kickers?
That's a kicker, though.
No, that's a whole different. That's very different in the sense of a fourth down.
You're right. You're right. That person can't score you points. They're way better.
I would be. Hey, I'm fine with punters. I just think that there's way too much writing on kickers.
Well, wouldn't you agree then, if you're going to use the analogy of the 2-point conversion, wouldn't you agree then if we took the punter away, every fourth down would mean way more and actually make maybe a more exciting game?
Yeah, scoring would go up.
Yeah, sure would. Maybe, and that's what make people watch the games, right? Scoring. Everybody says it. Scoring is better for the game.
But I think that would change probably like the endurance and stamina of defenses.
It'd be weird. It'd be like having no place kicker.
But I like kickers. I love football. I just think
it sounds like
if
you
there's
hate kickers.
one part that could go, I think it's that one.
I'm gonna say I think it's the defensive coordinator. How about that?
All right.
That's a joke. All right, 407
He's not even on the field.
1041.
Just like a kicker.
Text us at 77031. Hey, it's weird, guys. When you tell people you're going to give out Aerosmith and Black Crowes tickets, it's almost like they don't even care what time it is.
They just start calling.
It's almost like they started calling about at the beginning of the segment. Black Crowes and Aerosmith tickets up next here on the Jim Colbert Show. Load them up.
Real radio is the news junkie.
Maybe it's backwards, and that's the prank. Hot people get real low scores to bring them back down to earth, and then really ugly people get real high scores.
Calling that guy ugly?
No, he's beautiful and all. But
calling that guy beautiful?
This is weird. Can't win here.
The News Junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by LASIK Plus.
The Sixers are back in it after a big Game 4 win over the Celtics. No doubt they have talent, but Philly feels like a weird, dysfunctional family. A lot of characters with Doc Rivers trying to keep them all together. But unlike the Celtic stars, Harden and Embiid are clearly comfortable taking the big shot. I don't trust the Sixers or the Celtics, but I think late in games, if it's close, I trust Philly a bit more. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Do it. Take the first step towards LASIK and score a great deal at LASIK Plus today. Right now, LASIK Plus is offering $1,000 off their Wave Light Laser when treated in May. That's $500 off her eye with guaranteed financing. Visit mylasicoffer.com for details.
Man, when it comes to your bathrooms, they better look nice or your house just doesn't feel the same. Every time you talk to a realtor, like they say the same thing, right? It's your kitchens and your bathrooms. That's what's got to look good in your house for it to be really awesome. Well, if you have that guest bathroom that's been giving you problems, it's just an older bathroom, tiles are starting to fall out, the colors aren't there. It's just not really a modern, trendy bathroom. Call the guys at Rebath. See what these guys can do for you because they really are amazing. Dave Denbauer and his son Josh have been doing it for a while now, and they only take care of you if you need that bathroom really, really, really nice. These guys are great. They have the best products out there, natural stone, travertine, and marble. Their install team gets it in like 4 to 6 days. Their design team will help you with ideas. They take their products and your ideas and then build the bathroom. You see it come to life right in front of you, and then they get it installed. Bam, you love it. Lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. You cannot lose. Showroom is easy to find, 436 Up and Altamont across from Kobe, but really hop online. Look at what they've done. The before and afters are really the story of the entire company. Book your appointment today. Your new bathroom's right there in Altamont at rebathmidfla.com.
Ocean Bank is coming to Orlando. So we decided to bring you a break from the commercial break. Take this time to dream about how you would grow your business with Ocean Bank. Visit us at oceanbank.com. Ocean Bank. Member FDIC.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There is no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Orlando, for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
If you ride a motorcycle in Florida, someone can hit you and hurt you and legally not have insurance to pay you. Uninsured motorist coverage can help save you from financial ruin. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you,
Let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order, so every bite is hot and juicy every time. Because we love making you a burger that tastes exactly how it should.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious. To everyone who craves a handcrafted treat, let our team member Sephora tell you about a Culver's favorite.
We make our thick and creamy fresh frozen custard in small batches all throughout the day. And we mean all day, every day. From our supremely rich shakes and concrete mixers to our freshly scooped dishes and cones, we handcraft every bite to pure perfection. Making you a sweet treat with care is the best part of my day.
Come to Culver's and get a taste of our fresh frozen custard.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Now, it's your time to make more money and be your own boss. Come to the Franchise Show on May 20th and 21st at the Hyatt Regency Orlando to meet with the best money-making franchises. Learn how you can open a successful business. This life-changing event is your only chance to see all the hottest money-making opportunities in one place. Find the perfect business for you at the Franchise Show, presented by the Entrepreneur's Source, May 20th and 21st, the Hyatt Regency Orlando. Get tickets at FloridaFranchiseShow.com.
One day you're serving in the military, and then the next day you come home and you're dealing with an injury.
Britton is in recovery from an addiction to prescription opioids.
My opioid misuse and need got so strong. Addiction is hard. You're not going to fix it on your own. You have to reach out for help. The recovery side of it is amazing. You get to a place where you're proud of yourself again.
If you or someone you know is struggling, there is hope. Recovery is possible. Visit cdc.gov/RxAwareness.
At International Diamond Center, we're all about family, and no one plays a more important role in the life of any family than Mom. She's the rock, the hero, the one that holds it all together. So we invite you to help us celebrate the mothers in our lives with the perfect Mother's Day gift and a little something extra. We've put together a special collection of jewelry just for Mom. We've set aside these carefully selected items so there's no guesswork. You can stop in, shop with ease, and get Mom a timeless gift she's sure to love. And to make it really special, with any purchase of $249 or more, we'll give you a $50 spa gift card so she can use it to treat herself to a day of pampering and relaxation. So come join us at IDC. Help us say a big thank you to the mothers in our lives with a gorgeous bracelet, maybe a pair of diamond earrings, a colored gemstone ring, or a piece from our Perfect Love collection. Buy the jewelry and we'll throw in the $50 spa treat at no charge. Happy Mother's Day from International Diamond Center. Get showroom directions, store hours, and more now at shopidc.com.
Car crash? Call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
So apparently Facebook is still a thing? Search gym members and join our group.
Today I learned that Pat Williams is still alive. Was he like 98? Wow.
All right, 407-916-1041. 83, by the way. I think Pat Williams is around 83 years old, not 98.
He's back.
I am Jim. Deb is here.
I'm back.
Jack is here.
Yeah.
And Ross has your sauce jar.
All aboard.
Chugga, chugga.
Choo, choo.
Clickety-clack, clickety-clack.
First of all, I have a pair of tickets to go see the legendary band themselves, Aerosmith, at the Amalie Arena. That's going down October 11th. This is such a massive show, and it is honestly a very big deal that we have these tickets, that we're giving them away to all of our beautiful listeners. I also, at the bottom of the jar, I have a pair of buttons to attend the Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival.
Nice.
That's going down May 16th through the May 29th. It is my favorite time of the year, and it is Central Florida's, I think it's gotten voted #1 festival like a bunch of years in a row. It's a blast. If you don't know what Fringe is, it's time to find out. And that is your sauce jar, which is always brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. You know, go local and support a family-owned and operated Orlando moving and storage company. Just make sure you mention the Jim Colbert Show, because that will get you a discount. Book them today at CentoMoving.com. That's CENTO Moving.com. Good to have the train back. Back to you, Clickety Clack.
Thank you so much, Deb. Ross, who is first today?
Let's welcome Tyler.
Tyler right there on line 2. Tyler, how are you, friend?
I'm doing great. How are you, Jim?
Good, buddy. Would you like to play a little game with us?
I would love to.
Let's try to do it.
Game show.
All right, Tyler, this is a real easy game. Got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of them is untrue. It's a lie. If you can find it, off to Aerosmith and the Black Crowes you go. By the way, don't sleep on the Black Crowes. They are an incredibly good band. I mean,
I'm all about it.
Unbelievably good band. Saw them at the at House of Blues, and it was like a religious experience. I'm not kidding. It was that good. All right, buddy, are you ready?
I am.
All right, here we go. On this day in 1541, that's 1541, Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto and his expedition discovers the Mississippi River.
Oh, wow.
Here are 3 fun facts about the mighty Mississippi and one long, muddy lie. Number 1, water skiing was invented on the Mississippi River. Number 2, it takes 3 months for water to travel the entire length of the Mississippi River. Number 3, it's the 3rd slowest flowing river in the world. Or lastly, during Hurricane Isaac, the Mississippi River flowed backwards for 24 hours. Which of those is a lie?
Oh, man, that's rough. Yeah, I was going to take a stab at it. I'm going to go with number 1.
No, number 1 is true, buddy. Unfortunately, water skiing was invented on the Mississippi River.
Wow.
Sure was. It's funny, the guy who invented water skiing actually didn't patent water skis. It was another guy who did it like 3 years later who took snow skis and turned them into water skis, and then off we go.
And made a whole lot of money.
Yeah, he did okay for himself. Who's next, buddy?
Let's welcome Josh.
Josh, right up top. Josh, how are you, friend?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, buddy. Let's find out more about the Mississippi River. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, it takes 3 months for water to travel the entire length of the Mississippi River. Number 2, it's the 3rd slowest flowing river in the world. Or lastly, during Hurricane Isaac, the Mississippi River flowed backwards for 24 hours.
I'm going to go with number 2.
And you're going to go to see Aerosmith and the Black Crowes, buddy. You're a winner. Bang!
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Hey, very good, buddy. You are a winner. Thanks for that meek awesome.
Oh, like awesome.
Oh, my God.
It's like, who I see again? Barrels? What?
Yeah, it does take 3 months for a drop of water or, water to flow the entire length of the river. It is not the 3rd slowest flowing river in the world.
I thought it was.
But the James River in, I think, Missouri is the slowest flowing river, one of the, or the Everglades. And the St. John's also not known as going quickly either. And during Hurricane Isaac, and actually there was one other time it did this, it did flow backwards for 24 hours, which is a natural phenomenon, by the way, if a hurricane comes up the Gulf.
Probably Katrina did that as well.
Yeah. A couple other things you may not know about the mighty Mississippi before we get over to Ross thoughts. How many people do you think have swum the entire length of the Mississippi River? I mean, to think that even one person did it is amazing, right?
I wasn't aware they had until you asked this question. I'm going to go 50 people.
25.
70.
2. 2 people have swum the entire length of the Mississippi River. There's a guy who's a professional swimmer. In 2005, he did it in 68 hours. Or days. 68 days. And there was a guy years ago who did it in 200 days or something, and then somebody who did it in 121 days. Not bad. That other guy, by the way, the one who swum the Mississippi, also did the Yanks and the Amazon.
Whoa.
So he swam them all.
Oh, yeah, no, wouldn't do that one.
How wide do you think the widest part of the Mississippi River is?
I'll go 2 miles.
I'll go half a mile.
Quarter of a mile.
A quarter of a mile. How about 11 miles?
Whoa.
Now, here's the thing. That's a little bit of a trick question because the most natural occurring wide spot in the river is a lake called Lake Perrine or Pennine, and it's about 2 miles. But they give the record to this lake that's on the river. Get the buzzer ready. I'm going to take a shot. It's Lake Winnebago-Shoshish. Hold on. Lake Winnebago. Okay. It's Lake Winnebago-Shish. And that's exactly right.
You wash that mouth out right now.
Lake Winnipegashish is over 11 miles wide. It would be like this. Like it would be like saying that the widest part of the St. John's is Lake Monroe, which is like 3 miles wide.
Or Lake Okeechobee.
Right. So that's how they do it. The actual width of the river isn't the flowing part of the river that you know of. It's these lakes that puddle up, and they did that. But it is still 2 miles wide in the natural part, which is still really wide. And there are parts of the St. John's up in North Florida it's hard to see across. Like the river part. It's really big up there. Where do you think the Mississippi River starts?
Michigan.
Minnesota.
Minnesota's the answer.
Yay, Deb. I don't have to guess.
The Great River Road is a connection of roads that run parallel to the river for over 3,000 miles.
Wow. I used to have to cross the Mississippi to go from where I went to college in Menominee, Wisconsin, to get to the Twin Cities.
Yeah, I go Pontchartrain when you go across that whole area up there in New Orleans. You can go across it.
Those have the hardest. I think Louisiana has the hardest lakes to pronounce in the country.
And then lastly, this is the craziest thing. How much money do you think the Mississippi River is worth to the U.S. economy? In other words, you think about the products that go up and down it, how much water it provides for farming, whatever the case may be. How much do you think that river is worth to our economy?
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
I was going to go $50 billion.
$50 billion. Those are both adorable guesses.
Make it higher.
I'm going to go $250 billion.
$400 billion.
Whoa.
That's the impact on the economy the Mississippi River has. $400 billion.
Is that a year or like total history? What is that?
I think that's a year, buddy. Yep. Worth an estimated $400 billion. We talk about the stuff being shipped up and down that river to get out of here, get out of these countries, go to other countries, and how they use that to move products and goods from one to another. Simply amazing.
It's a very important river.
It is. And to mention, I think it has the most joints as well. In other words, the rivers that join up to it that allow you to use the Mississippi as a starting point to go to other parts of the country to also deliver goods. One of the most valuable natural assets we have, by the way.
And it always hits when you go this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, that's right.
Plus, isn't that for Great Lakes shipping? Or no, they would go through like Lake Huron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But they do have the canal that connect those lakes together so you can use them well.
So back to the guys who swam it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Well, I would imagine the pollutants in the water could be a hazard. Are there any wildlife that would be a hazard in the river?
Well, gators for sure.
Really?
Well, yeah, in the Mississippi, when you get into the South, there's going to be gators.
Okay,
There's going to be gators from probably in Louisiana for sure. Down
them gators down there.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be a problem. But a lot of times when they do this, like when they swim the English Channel, they put like a net thing around you. You guys seen when they do that?
For jellyfish?
There's like a trail boat or something that goes on either side of the swimmer that has like a containment area so that the person swimming can swim and not get attacked. Because I think the English Channel has some sharks and stuff, right? It's a major problem there. Not to mention a bad current as well.
I think it was Diane Nyad,
yes,
right, who was swimming from Cuba to Key West and had tried it several times, but would just get torn apart by
jellyfish. Right? Yeah. They had that thing where they could put her in like a little cocoon. She's still in the water and it's still swimming, no question. But she's at least protected though. Ross, thoughts?
Guys, you're looking at the after photo of myself because everything before was before. I'm a whole new man. I'm surprised you guys haven't noticed. It's kind of a big deal.
Really?
Kind of a big deal.
Oh, now I'm staring at you.
Yeah.
Is it your long locks?
No, you can't see it from here, but you can. I will just know that something is changing on good old Ross's body.
Let's find out what that is next. Maybe. I don't know. This could be anything.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Radio 1041. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Still looking at some slow traffic this afternoon as you travel through downtown Orlando between Ivanhoe and Robinson Street and between the Greenway and 429. No major problems or delays right now for those taking the Beach Line or the Greenway. Traffic now moving well for the most part north and southbound on Florida's Turnpike. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Biggie
When you
Bag.
think
Wendy's Biggie Bag. Think your go-to meal deal with your choice of JBC, double stack or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. Biggie hits every time. So grab a Biggie Bag today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Stop by your neighborhood Petco to save on your pet's favorite brands like Blue Buffalo, Iams, Wholehearted, and Purina Pro Plan. And when your pet needs to see a vet, Petco Vet Services can take care of vaccinations, flea, tick, and heartworm prevention, and more. Don't forget, your pet always wants to look their best, so make a grooming appointment while you're there. You'll get every 8th groom free when you unlock the grooming perk in our app. Visit your nearest Petco or go to petco.com to start saving on all your pet's needs.
The podcast, Silenced, The Radio Murders, explores the unsolved homicides of 3 disc jockeys in Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood. It's an investigation that exposes corruption and drug trafficking, painting a portrait of Miami as a forward operating base for the CIA.
They were using their newfound freedom and the radio airwaves to ignite a revolution. That's when the killing started.
Listen to Silenced, The Radio Murders on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'll pay you $100 for last look. When you're doing a deal at a dealership, take a picture of your deal sheet, send it to givemethevin.com. If we can't beat your trade-in offer, I'll send you a check for $100. We do the same thing with CarMax offers. Can't beat a CarMax offer? Send you a check for $100. Worst thing that could happen is you get $100. Best thing that could happen is you get $3,000 more for your car or your trade. We are America's best car buyer for a reason. We'll see you online at givemethevin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to GetRefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
Sharing your health story matters.
I lost my sister to cervical cancer. When I'm teaching about women's cancers, I'm thinking about her, and I'm doing this for her.
Joining the All of Us research program means contributing to research that may help people of different backgrounds.
This research process will only become better if we have more diverse communities involved. We need to be represented. We need to be part of this medical breakthrough.
Take part in the largest health database of its kind.
Get involved with all of us because any medical breakthrough that we'll see has to have your input. It has to have part of you in it.
Share your health stories today and help guide the discoveries of tomorrow. Learn more at joinallofus.org/NIH. This message is paid for by the All of Us Research Program.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
People are winning every single day. Regular people are winning every day. Whether it's $500 or $50,000, anybody can win. Because when they win, I feel like I'm winning.
It's just a fun atmosphere. The pool, the spa, the gaming, the food, the shopping,
I came one night, hit the double downs, had a couple of good runs, and won about $300,000.
Anybody could win at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
Must be 21 to play slots or table games. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Regions Life Banking. Embrace the if in life.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Obviously, this is why YouTube was created. Obviously, at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Hey guys, I've been with my wife now for like 22 years, been married like 17, and a good friend of ours said to us one day, which he's on his third marriage now, he said, hey, you guys need to go ahead, hurry up and get married so you get your first divorce over with.
All right.
I thought my wife was going to die.
Yeah. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. That's a talk back. Just download the iHeartRadio app. When you get it, go to Real Radio and use that microphone to send it on down the line. If you had something to say it that way. Pretty easy. All right, 407-916-1041. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is right there.
Hi there.
Let's get some Ross thoughts.
New man.
It's weird.
Limited edition.
I don't
It's
even know,
funny.
dude.
2.0.
Sometimes.
2.0.
It's Ross.
This one
spelled like sauce.
got an update.
It's Ross Thoughts.
Ross Thoughts is brought to you by Persimmon Hollow Brewing. We'll talk a little bit more about them and how they still have my favorite beer, Blood Orange Weed, at the end of the segment. But this past weekend, Friday, right? No, I'm sorry, Saturday. Saturday, I go ahead, I get home about 5 o'clock. I go ahead, I feel like I got some stamina left in the tank. I got some juice up in the bottle. Let me go running. I'm a runner. I'm a track star. That's me. I be doing 5Ks now. Tomorrow, I got a 5K.
Do you really?
Yeah. I mean, I say I have one. I just run 3.1 miles.
Oh, I got you there.
Yeah, it's not an actual race.
Are you
or
in
something.
training for a specific 5K?
No, the Life 5K, I suppose.
Okay, there you go. That's a good one.
Tip your waiters. No, I don't know. It's something that I got into, and now I can't stop doing it.
Okay.
I even bought running shoes. I bought a pair of Brooks.
Good.
Yeah, dude.
Good.
I'm getting into my zaddy era.
I have to tell you, our golf talks are considerably more intriguing than our running talks.
Yeah. Well, golf we have in common.
Yeah. Oh.
What I'm trying to say is, though,
Weird flex.
is that running has really helped me out with a lot of anxiety. It's helped me out. I feel productive even when I'm not. If I ran that day, I could do nothing else, but I'm like, damn, I'm killing it.
Got that run in.
You know, it's the same. It's got laundry syndrome. If you do a load of laundry, you could go ahead and watch movies, smoke weed for the rest of the day, but hot damn, your underwear is clean. Today was a dub. You know?
Today was a dub, yeah.
I get hyped when I run. I get hyped when I do laundry. But something happened. I'm running about mile 2.5. I'm like, damn, my ass. My butt. I think I broke my butt. I broke something. My butt started hurting.
Now, okay, so let's clarify here, because butt pain comes in a bunch of different colors and shapes and sizes.
Don't say colors.
Was this a was this an exit pain, or
No,
was it
no,
more
no.
of a glute pain?
I'm
or
happy to say it was a glute pain,
Okay,
not an
there you go.
exit pain.
Okay. Well,
Hey,
yeah,
better
right.
than an entrance.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want some club bruising.
So I go ahead. I'm running. My butt cheeks, my glutes start really feeling it.
It's burning.
It was burning.
Oh yeah, dude, that's good,
But
right?
it felt like for the first time I've been running miles and miles before.
Okay, yeah.
My butt cheeks have never,
never had burning butt.
I've never had my butt go like, Robert, what are you doing?
Right.
I go home. I get out of the shower. I look at my butt.
No.
Dog.
Oh man.
Were you loving on yourself?
I'm starting to get an ass. I'm starting to get a butt. You guys got to peep this gourd back here.
Whoa, time out.
I knew Can I tell you, I knew from the setup, this is sideways. I knew before we went to break, I'm like, this is going to be bad. It's going to be bad. This story is going to suck, and it's going to be bad.
Jim, I'm sitting higher. I am taller when I sit right now.
It's a muscle height.
I'm telling you, something is up. Listen.
Get it, stand up.
All right.
Stand up.
All right, peep
were
game.
you going to do this in a minute anyway? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wreck your
No,
bit.
you want to peep? You want to touch?
Lift your T-shirt up. Turn around a little bit.
All right, I don't have the best jeans, but let me scoop this up. Look at that ass, dog.
We're not seeing really a lot of it.
It's
Get a little bit more into the center.
camera.
But here's the thing: it was so little to begin with.
I know.
Any increase you're gonna be able to tell. I can tell a little bit,
Right? I went from grapefruits to cantaloupes back there, and that's such a massive improvement. I've never had anything, dude. This is a big deal.
Is your wife taking notice?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All
Whoa,
right.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Did she notice?
No, I
without...
brought it up to her.
There you go.
Don't you love it? Don't you love it when Jack takes that Jack filter and goes, "Oh, I see a lie here."
Exactly.
And he just applies it straight to it, right in your face. Doesn't even care.
Because we always had this joke. We always had this joke that her boobs were bigger than my butt.
Oh man, you had never paid attention.
Yeah, but now I feel like I'm catching up.
Yeah.
It might even be a tie.
Hold on, let me go check and see her boobs. Real
So
quick. Make sure
so let me. What's y'all glutes looking like?
I mean, I don't have much of an ass.
I never have.
Can I tell you? This is an assless crew.
Yeah.
I think Jack.
You be right.
I think Jack has the biggest ass of all of us.
I'm making a comeback, dude.
Deb is still making payments on hers.
Oh, yeah,
it
no.
comes in this fall.
I have no.
I don't have an ass. I thought I had one for a while, but I do not have one. My wife told me, he's like, you don't have much of an ass.
Aww.
I mean, I don't think it was a slam.
Is yours like shrouded in mystery too?
Not really mystery, buddy. No.
Now, what do you mean by shrouded?
Like that thing's got to have like a
mine?
What's more than a 5 o'clock shadow?
No. There's none of that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about this is your segment talking about your ass.
Yeah. I was gonna segue into going bare, and I kind of want like a little, like a baby sweater.
Here's the thing. I've seen your stomach.
Yeah.
All right. Your stomach is. Man,
getting better. I agree.
No. It is Amish white.
Yeah.
Your stomach is white. I can't. Your ass must be transparent.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, white.
Yeah, I know it's very white. It's
like Nordic.
Yeah, Nordic. Very.
Like if the lights go out in this building, we're carrying you around to light our way.
I could read by your ass.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, not buy it. Not beside it.
Yeah, it's like an egg.
So what's happening? So what's the goal here?
The goal
is to get shredded, get your calves all shredded up, get your ass all plump.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Well, I keep running, and this thing starts becoming my badonk is about to badonk-a-donk.
I think our texting service just weighed in the best. 77031 Ross. It sounds like it's time for you to get some apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur.
Right. Dude, showcase that thing, dude.
I'll rock Uggs with this butt.
You need to get a James Bond swimsuit, bro. One of those little short swimsuits.
So when are you guys going to join me on this, this ass venture or whatever I'm looking for? I guess that was a pun, whatever. And me. Just grab a bullet, load it, chamber. Well, bang.
I don't really have there's no aspiration. To have a great booty. I don't know that my wife looks at my booty and it does it. I don't know what it does, actually. I don't know what, when she looks at me, I don't know what does it.
And then,
if anything.
I was not expecting this plot twist, too, is that when I did, yes, Jack, I brought up my butt to my wife. She did not notice it organically.
Does she laugh? Your wife has a real habit of laughing at you when you think you've achieved something great. She
all the time.
Just destroys
When did you move in? What the hell are you talking about? Is that in every marriage thing?
It's every one of them. But
okay, good.
But my point is this. When you brought attention to your own new ass, did she seem to be like, oh, yeah, baby, look at that?
So I bring it up to her, and she was like, yeah, all right. Like that was the first thing. And then I showed her the goods.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, look at that. And that's when I got the, oh, damn, look at that.
Wow.
I was like, hell yeah, you better switch up that tone.
She smacked it to see how it reacted? Because juicy asses flap around a little bit when you're smacking, and workout asses just...
And this is no juice. This is no flap.
No jiggle.
No jiggle. This is just raw muscle right now. I got a Hemi. I got this thing. I think I'm walking quicker. I feel lighter. Jack.
Yeah.
Do you want a field definition?
Oh, my God. This son of a bitch. It's like once a week, he's trying to con one of us into touching him.
I know.
The only one is you. You're the only one that's safe, and you're the one that should be unsafe.
Jack, touch me.
I wouldn't know.
Son of a bitch is the worst.
I wouldn't know what to compare it to because I didn't touch it before.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I should have let you do that months ago.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I've been asking.
Yeah.
Should have set the tone months ago. Jack, I need you to squeeze my ass because in 6 months I'm going to ask you to squeeze it one more time. Remember how this feels.
No matter what happens, though, you know what's another reason why I keep running? Is because I will not, and you can quote me on this.
Buddy, I feel you 100. I'm right there with you.
Will not stop drinking beer.
Ever.
And I'm always going to drink Persimmon Hollow Brewing. I'm telling you right now, it's every day, and I'm not going to stop. Their blood orange wheat. I brought it out on a golf course Sunday. It still works. It stays undefeated. It is the best golf beer that I've ever had. It's the best summer beer that you're going to taste. It is amazing. It is called Blood Orange Wheat from Persimmon Hollow Brewing. They have 5 locations, so you can pick up that beer from any of them. They have one. They have a location in DeLand. They have a location down at Lake Eola. That's my location. That's my favorite one. It's also closer to my house. But all of them are fantastic. Why? Because Persimmon Hollow cares about beer. They care about the beer that they brew, and it's time for you to find out. Visit them at phbeer.com, and never forget, drink sensibly, but get weird. Enjoy a Persimmon Hollow beer today. Those are your Ross thoughts. I'm out. Peace.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Our buddy Ray Trenley, One Firm for Life, was up next, and we have a couple of interesting questions to deal with Ray, so stay tuned in. Ray Trenley up next.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Still looking at some slow traffic this afternoon as you travel through downtown Orlando between Ivanhoe and Robinson Street and between the Greenway and 429. No major problems or delays right now for those taking the Beach Line or the Greenway. Traffic now moving well for the most part north and southbound on Florida's Turnpike. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Insperity. Providing scalable HR services, access to better benefits, payroll, and HR technology for over 35 years. Insperity's mission is to help businesses succeed so communities prosper. Insperity, HR that makes a difference. Visit Insperity.com.
Oh, man, we're getting that heat starting this week. By the end of this month, of course, you'll know you're in Florida, and that is one of the many reasons you need an AC company that you can trust, you can lean on, that has integrity, and the people in charge that make sure that is going to make it to your house every single trip. Of course, I'm talking about our buddies over at Mills Air. They've been doing it for 30 years. Let them use that experience to make sure you don't have a breakdown in July or August when it comes to your AC. You know how you can do that? Preventive maintenance. That's the plan that you need to be a part of right now. That's where Mills Air can come in and basically give your entire system an update to make sure it's perfect, ready to go for these brutal summers. And yeah, they can do it for you real quick. Plus, they're carrier factory authorized dealers, and that can get you up to $1,275 in rebates if you do need that new Carrier unit. Turn to the experts at Carrier. Turn to the experts at Mills. They're family owned and operated and ready to help you today. It's 407-277-1159 online, millsair.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
The way healthcare works today can be frustrating. So many different doctors to keep track of, different tests, different medications. It's a lot. Welcome to Village Medical, a whole new kind of primary care covered by most Medicare plans. Here, your own doctor coordinates all of your care for you, even talking to your specialists and your pharmacist to manage prescriptions. There's a lot more about Village Medical that we think you'll love. When's the last time you said that about healthcare? Go to villagemedical.com and become a patient today.
Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. Call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. 800-303-3398. 800-303-3398. That's 800-303-3398.
Who's ready for a new sensation? All over the nation, everyone's seeing inflation. In fact, RC Hill Mitsubishi is just about the only place prices are going down. It's my deflation celebration event, and it means you could drive a new Mitsubishi for just $5 down, and that's less than a carton of eggs. For your peace of mind, all new Mitsubishis come with a lifetime limited warranty. Listen closely to my declaration and join my deflation celebration, because you could ditch your current ride and drive a car you love for just $5 down. My dealer next door credit approval process is free of frustration because we work with the lenders who want to approve your application with rates as low as 1.9%. Right now, you could drive a nicer, newer car for just $5 down. Come to my deflation celebration. But hurry so I can help you beat inflation today. I'm RC Hill Mitsubishi. 2 locations, DeLand and Ocala. Central Florida's first choice for new Mitsubishis. Visit me at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price determines actual trade allowance. Negative equity may be refinanced. See dealer for details.
At Fifth Third Bank, we give you free checking, never have hidden fees, and help protect your identity.
Wow, really?
Yep. See, our name equals 166.7%, so we put in that much effort.
Well, my name's Jim, so I guess I'm headed to the gym, and I'm gonna put in 166.7% effort too.
Aw, I'm proud of you.
No one's ever been proud of me.
This is banking a Fifth Third better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Preventive maintenance on all brands, and that saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit millsair.com.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years, it's going to explode, obliterating the Earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Get top deals on everything you need to freshen up your yard, like the Cobalt 24-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit, only at Lowe's. Was $199, now just $149. Plus, get your lawn in shape with up to $15 off select Scott's Easy Seed Lawn Repair Mixes. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Scott's offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Pray.com's Meditative Prayers podcast is the best way to bring God's perfect peace into your night. Each meditative prayer helps you focus on God, fight anxiety, sleep better, and more.
As you close your eyes, ask God to come and have fellowship with you. Open yourself to the Holy Spirit and ask Him to minister to you.
Listen to Meditative Prayers on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour of programming brought to you by MyHomeBuildersNetwork.com. Need a new roof? Then you need Mike at MyHomeBuildersNetwork.com.
If you don't know what web goals are, consider yourself lucky. Feel like helping out? Go to JimColbertLive.com and look at stuff.
Oh, Jimothy. Can I call you Jimothy? I love your radio program. And Deborah, I'm so glad you're back. And I mean that with every fiber in my being.
All All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show here on Real Radio. Broadcasting from beautiful Maitland, Florida, every day from 3 until 7. Number one ranked show in the city at this time slot for a reason. Because you guys like us and you're nice enough to vote for us. That's all.
Yay.
Speaking of which, I guess the Orlando Weekly is doing their thing here now, right? They're doing the nominations for the Best of Orlando stuff.
Yes.
I saw the Monsters got a bunch of nominations.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm going to check that out. See how many we're nominated for. I'm going to get that going. All right, 407-916-1041. Deb is here. Jack is here. So is Ross. You guys give it up good and loud for our friend, Mr. Ray Trinley.
Yay!
TK Law, one firm for life. Offices up in Altamont Springs. Brother, I know you just got back from a little trip. You do a little trip with your friends. I can't be more envious of this relationship you have with your college buddies that you've known for some of them
high
school buddies.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them even goes back to middle school or something, right?
Yeah, so my best friend that I grew up with, we've been best friends since 5th grade.
5th grade.
We were both skipping school the same day, walking down the same canal with our fishing poles, and we never really even talked before that. And it was like, hey, I think I recognize you.
That's crazy, man.
And we've been best friends ever since. And so
you and the guys went down to the Keys this weekend and kind of blow it out?
Oh, my goodness.
Had a good time? I saw that boat full of fish you brought back.
It was, there's just moments in life where you're like, you haven't seen somebody in a while and nothing has changed.
Yeah.
You
literally go right back to those conversations you were having 25 years ago like nothing happened.
Yeah, like, you consume alcohol with your friends, and it brings you back to those memories of the first time you did X or Y.
Okay. All right.
I had to fix that real quick. But the story that you guys were talking about before with the kicker who says like the best thing you could do is get married and have a family. It changed. If you, and this is part of what we talked about, if you'd asked any of my friends from high school who the last person to get married would be, it would be me. That wasn't who I was at that time in my life. And I ended up being the first to get married. And it radically changed all of my goals, my perspective. It made me grow up. And I had to be a lot less selfish. And I don't think I would be the lawyer I am today if it wasn't for Steve Kramer, my now partner, saying, that's not a bad thing. You should probably get married and settle down. And I thought, I was like, it's not going to change me, and it does.
I kind of think that's where the guy was going with it. I know it came off a little like almost preachy a little bit, but I do believe that's kind of what he was saying. For young people out there, you get out of school, you have an engineering degree, you're going to start making money pretty quick, and with that money is going to become all those things that you are when you're 24, 25 years old, making 125, 30 grand a year, as a first, second, third year engineer, electrical engineer, whatever the case may be. And I think that's basically what he was saying is, understand there's an opposite to that, and you can have some solidity in your life. This is how I did it. But I actually thought it was kind of refreshing.
Yeah, I think you need to find a partner and a purpose. And if you do those two things, like life is worth living.
Yeah, way easier too, I think.
Absolutely.
Ray obviously is an attorney here in town who handles a lot of different cases from divorce to estate planning and everything in between. His offices are up in Altamont Springs. OneFirmForLife.com is the website. He drops by on Mondays to discuss some things with us. You have an interesting case, and then I have one for you. You go first.
Yeah, so the case that I pulled was this case from Trinisha Biggers, who was more commonly known as Raka Khan in WWE and NWO. She filed a lawsuit, a 48-page lawsuit against a number of defendants, about 200 plus defendants, including Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, for conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Kidnapping.
So she's claiming that The Rock wanted to kidnap her?
Her and her two children. And so, there's... if you read the lawsuit, and I'll tell you what, it took me...
I'm looking at it now. It's about a quarter-inch thick of regular paper there.
It took me
about 30 pages?
40 minutes to find this lawsuit. And once I found it, I realized probably why it's not so widely available. It's a little bit of rambling.
So, it's not making any news either. I mean, you would think a case like this, if it had any legitimacy whatsoever, would be all over the news.
So, who is also a party to this is MTV.
Oh, wow.
MTV.
UFC.
Okay.
Cisco,
the food company?
The food company. CNN.
All for the same charge. All these people were conspiring to kidnap her and her children?
That's correct. Jacksonville High School.
Okay. Oh, what?
Yeah.
What for?
Doesn't really specify specific facts for specific defendants.
Oh, this is not real then. I mean, it's real, but it's not real. In other words, maybe there's a mental issue.
So this case got filed October of last year. No movement with it. No movement with it until April. And so we have what's called lack of prosecution. After 10 months, a court can dismiss a case for lack of prosecution. And all of a sudden, there's been movement. So much so that Walt Disney World has apparently pulled out of its offer to have The Rock as a part of the upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean new movie.
What?
The Rock has himself issued a statement, obviously denying all the facts in this case.
Or all the allegations.
Or all the allegations that are raised in the complaint.
Sure.
And so that's where it becomes interesting, right? So we've kind of talked about this before, where people can file a lawsuit for just about anything. And this person has tied in, there were a few other people that I had, like Al Sharpton was also one of the defendants.
But so obviously the impact here is pretty obvious. The first thing I thought when you said this to me is, well, she can't be a target. I mean, that potentially could have cost him hundreds of millions of dollars.
Easily.
We do not know where that's going to go with him. I mean, he could either be part of one picture or he could be part of this franchise for the remainder of his career.
Right.
It did Johnny Depp okay. So I'm guessing with a guy who already is one of the biggest stars in America, that this would have been a major game thing. Well, who is he? Who is his action against?
So this is,
I mean, she's got nothing.
Her suing him, basically. So here's the narrative in her lawsuit, and you kind of have to sift through some of the facts here that she's alleging. And the narrative is that there was a DCF case in Texas, and that basically when she was a wrestler, that the wrestling organization and the other employees conspired to have her children taken away in order for her to spend more time wrestling. That's conceptually the idea.
To hold her kids hostage so that she would do what they wanted, and they would use the kids as bait to get her to wrestle more matches.
Essentially. Yeah.
Sounds like she thinks she's Charlotte Flair.
Well, and I think actually she had beef with her. But you know what? Factually, it seems like it's a stretch. What business does Dwayne the Rock Johnson have in trying to have somebody's kids taken away?
Yeah,
and the answer's probably none.
Yeah, obviously. But again, I mean, how does this even make it? It does it have enough validity for a judge to go, yeah, we'll move forward? I mean, it seems like something that should be thrown out immediately. Don't they have to provide some kind of evidence that even a little bit of that happened to get the judge interest?
Yeah, so my guess is that The Rock and his attorney probably were hoping this thing was just going to die through a lack of prosecution. Basically, nobody has to say anything. Just let it die its natural course and let it go nowhere.
There's a ton of people wrapped up in this lawsuit.
Yeah, right.
Over 200.
Yeah, and it doesn't just stop with The Rock. It's a lot.
He's just the biggest name, obviously, and he's at the most. Well, the reason it's even news is because it cost him this role.
Right.
So does he have action against Disney? I mean, they don't have to cast him. I mean, if they didn't have a standing agreement, there's nothing there, right?
I was going to say, so it depends on if there was a contract signed already, but oftentimes those agreements, especially with companies like Disney, have
moral clauses
in them that condition the contract on
even
being
allegation.
an outstanding citizen and not having any allegations raised against you. So
wow, that is genuinely unbelievable. Maybe no merit to this whatsoever. Not even one syllable of that may not be true, and yet it could cost this guy, a paycheck. Look, I'm not
probably $100 million at least. I don't know, but Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I mean, financially, he's not a very sympathetic character. I'm not going to go, oh, poor Rock. I hope it's okay. But that doesn't matter. He worked his ass off to get to the point where he could have opportunities like this. They shouldn't be taken from him just because somebody feels like a story sounds funny.
Sure.
Unreal.
The Miz
Pretty
is
crazy.
wrapped up in this.
Really?
There are a bunch of
Not
wrestlers, some that I couldn't remember who their wrestling names were, but
she retired in 2011. Rocket Khan did.
Jimmy Carter was also one of the named defendants.
Former president?
Former president Jimmy Carter.
Okay. There we go.
What the hell? Yeah, this is like an acid dream of a lawsuit.
She pulled out of a Habit for Humanity match.
She is representing herself. Surprise.
Yeah, that's
Well,
because she can find no attorney to take that case, even if she had money,
not.
right? Even if she had money, she wouldn't be able to find somebody to take that.
good luck, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
because an attorney is going to have to tell somebody, hey, look, I took this case, and obviously it's from somebody who doesn't have everything maybe working for.
You know, they say like there's no such thing as bad publicity. That's bad publicity.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
She's
like, going after.
I filed this frivolous lawsuit against The Rock and former President Jimmy Carter.
There you go.
How about this? You got Home Depot got wrapped up in this. Florida Championship Wrestling. The NWA. What?
There are some radio personalities on here that are not on this station, but Bubba Love Sponge.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's fine.
Billy Corgan
he's
is
on
wrapped
any
in
station
this.
right now. Billy Corgan's on Smashing Pumpkins.
What is he doing in this lawsuit?
He's a big wrestling fan.
Michael Jordan.
There you go.
Oh, that's right. Michael Jordan was also one of the named defendants.
Well, there you
What
go.
about Bad Bunny? She put him in there too?
No, I didn't see Bad Bunny in there, but University of Florida was in there. University of South Florida, Florida State. You know.
Well, that's interesting. We'll keep tabs on what happens there.
Yeah,
because
I'll
I
let
find
you
that very
know.
interesting. This other case is very interesting. Tiger Woods, of course, is now separating from his girlfriend. They never got married, Erica Herman, whom he met while she was working at his restaurant called The Woods down in Jupiter, Florida, right? And, of course, everybody understands who Tiger is and what he is and all those things.
He met her at his restaurant?
She was working there.
What is up with this guy and restaurant chicks?
I think she was the
assistant GM,
like a hostess or GM or something
I thought
like
she was
that.
an assistant GM.
So,
or maybe that's the promotion she got.
Right. Yeah. She was with this guy. I believe they've been together for like 4 or 5, 6 years. And from what I understand, and just through the grapevine, people here in Central Florida that have known him for a while, that I kind of know as well, said that, 2 or 3 years ago, this guy was as happy as he's ever been with a girl. Like, she's really cool. They really had a great affection for each other.
She's
blah, blah,
terrible
blah.
with a 9-iron.
Yeah. Good. Her kids, or his kids, apparently really liked her, and she went everywhere with him, which is really abnormal because Tiger doesn't like having that. He had issues with Lindsey Vonn trying to treat him like a boyfriend,
Right, yeah.
and he did.
I remember that.
He did not like that at all. She pulled a prank on him, like put a squirrel near his shoulder while he was on camera at a golf tournament, and he looked at her like he wanted to throw her off the property. He does not have that play thing in him, right?
Yeah, that's probably a good way to put it.
So with that said, Erica Herman now has filed a $30 million lawsuit against Tiger Woods, and she's now claiming sexual harassment. And I'm thinking, well, how could that be? He dated her for 5 years. I'm not saying it can't happen because we know that situations like that become very squirrely at times.
Well,
No,
fraternization, since he was in a position of management and power.
That's the argument.
Exactly what it is, Deborah.
Oh, yeah.
She's claiming that he sexually harassed her to even begin the relationship, the one that she was in with him voluntarily for 4 or 5 years. That the initial beginning of the relationship was sexual
Coerce.
harassment.
Yeah, it was coerced. Basically, he's in a position of power.
Right.
He used his influence to force her into this relationship, and
Tell me, look.
Here's why it's interesting, though. Here's why it's interesting.
Okay,
so
yeah.
if you recall, we talked about this like a month and a half ago, and the lawsuit was filed. The response filed by Tiger Woods' counsel was, "Hey, we've got this non-disclosure agreement, and we never had anything in writing that said that you have ownership of this house."
Right, because that's what she kind of claimed, that
Right.
because she was there that long, she deserves a portion of
Well,
it.
and that he allegedly had told her,
Right.
"Don't worry, it's going to be yours." And then, so in
They
response,
sent her to the coffee shop and put her stuff on the curb.
Yeah,
and
basically.
in response to that
So
response,
brutal.
he takes her to the Bahamas. This is the response that her attorneys file in response to that. He takes her to the Bahamas. When they arrive at the airport, the private airport, she gets off the jet. The person waiting to approach her when she gets off the jet is an attorney who represents Mr. Tiger Woods and said, "Here's paperwork. You're not allowed to return back to the house. And oh, by the way, Tiger Woods will not be here meeting you." And so that's the foundation.
'Cause she wouldn't leave the house, right?
Correct.
Something like that. She claimed through this lawsuit that she deserved part of that house. She didn't feel that she could be evicted, so he had to play some games to get her out of the property so he could do his thing.
So her response is shedding light on the story, right? This is how shady this guy is, basically. And then she goes in to say, and that non-disclosure agreement that he mentioned in the last filing, that can't be enforced because it was under the guise of preventing her from describing sexual harassment that was happening when she was his employee, which is smart.
Is that in the verbiage of the agreement? There's no way that he would sign that with that in there.
But there's a federal law that says that you can't sign non-disclosure agreements if it is to prohibit somebody from reporting a crime like sexual harassment.
But you have to prove that that's the case, though, right? Or do you have to infer that that's the case? Because that's a pretty wide brush, buddy.
She makes the allegation, and even if it's a he said, she said situation,
Proof's in the pudding, right?
What you're really talking about is ruining this guy's reputation, which, he's had some rocky moments in his life.
Hey, here's the thing. In this particular situation, I don't think you could ruin Tiger Woods' reputation. I mean,
not when it comes to women.
His personal life has kind of been a tragedy since that
It
whole
really
thing
has,
with
yeah.
Since the 9-iron.
Since the 9-iron thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
Norland.
Can I tell you, the information we have on that wreck is sketchy.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, come on, man. I mean, early in the morning, this guy falls asleep at the wheel. Yeah, a guy who was a known addict for a while.
Anybody else would have had a blood draw.
Oh, yeah, you bet your ass.
So, but is his reputation as a family man now, because he's just now re-engaging as a father, getting his son
Charlie,
yeah, thank you, into golf, and he's having all these moments like, is it now worth it to give her $15 million just to go away?
Yeah.
Or constantly be in the center of the media? A lot like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial was not that long ago.
So this is what I've never understood about the Tiger Woods thing. And this is where I think this guy is short-sighted and maybe gets some bad advice or just maybe thinks he's a little smarter than what he is. I never understood that. If you do have that kind of access to cash, why would you pull a stunt like this when you know for a fact all it's going to do is polarize her? The information that you have for her already is bad.
Right.
You have enough money to buy another house. Give her the house. What's the house cost? It's not $30 million. Give her the stupid house. Who cares? Go build another one or buy another one. You got that. Why would you allow this person to tell that story? It's such a horrible look and go through this all again just when you started getting people back into thinking you're a regular, normal guy.
I can't agree with you more.
For the life of me, who is running this guy's publicity? It's a joke. It really is. This is genuinely one of the most important athletes in 100 years.
Oh, maybe ever.
In his personal life is a complete travesty.
We don't know if there's somebody in that camp saying all those things, and Tiger Woods is like, no, I'm Tiger Woods. I get to do whatever I want.
You're 100% right,
And I think that might be it, right? When you are Tiger Woods and you are who he was in the late 90s. And
worked for Mike Tyson.
Right. But when you're that level of famous, you get probably a little bit of a power and control personality.
And you also are usually surrounded by sycophants.
Right, absolutely. And once you have that power, you don't want to ever let it go.
Right.
And again, if you have people in your ear giving you bad advice, I really think that that's what it has to come down to, because logically, I agree with you. He's got the money.
But all these attorneys around him, look, man, you're not Tiger Woods' attorney. Well, you're a smart enough guy to know that you would never in a million years try to shaft her by going, hey, you deserve a trip to the Bahamas.
Right.
Get her on the private jet. The private jet. Yeah. The private jet. Get her on a $30 million airplane that you have to fly you around occasionally. You don't even play golf anymore. Fly her back, buy her a damn house, shut her down, have the NDA up, get her money in her pocket, shut her up, and move on.
That's right.
This is just another relationship in Tiger's life that didn't work out. Next.
Right.
But now you have this.
Yeah, what lawyer was telling Tiger, yo, you know what we should do? We should hit her with the switcheroo.
If you think about could you imagine if a client asked you to do that? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to send her to the Bahamas. When she comes back, you're going to meet her at the airport with this paperwork. It should go fine.
So I will say this. There was a situation one time. The girlfriend was a former CIA operative.
Okay, this is already good.
And
this is awesome.
And there were some concerns about how that person would react in the breakup. But there was a large check tied to the agreement. It was not that dissimilar other than the private jet.
There's no way this guy couldn't have easily written her, here, Erica, here's $10 million.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But his ego gets in the way.
And the house.
His ego got in the way. She's not going to do that to Tiger Woods. Who's she?
And by the way, I'm sure the house is in his Jupiter, where in that area he lives. He probably doesn't want her there because it's where all the pros that like him all just moved down there.
So, and that's part of I think the planning on his end is the property was in an irrevocable trust, which is an asset protection tool, and therefore she shouldn't have any claim to it. You know, this is logically the way you process it. But when you're looking at it from a risk perspective, the last thing you want to do is go to court with somebody who's got nothing to lose,
absolutely
everything to gain,
and you have,
because they're not going to pull any punches. And the lawyers representing her, there is no such thing as bad publicity in that situation.
Are they able to during and we got to go, but during a case like this, would they be able to bring up prior stuff with this guy? Would they be able to bring up everything that happened in 2008 and all of the affairs and just set a precedent of this guy's mentality? And because the idea of what he did, like you said, it is really kind of skeezy.
Yeah, so that's a hard decision. If I'm the judge, it really is going to come down to whether or not you're trying to prove like an MO, right? This is what he does with all these girls. Yeah. Or is it just to prove that he's a bad guy and just show like he's a propensity to do bad things? If it's a propensity for bad things, probably exclude it. But if this is something where you get one more woman to come in and say, yeah, that happened to me too, it might be game over.
He seems, I tell you what, straight up, we got to go. I think he hits me a little bit like Michael Jackson. A guy whose life was completely controlled from the age of like 2 years old, and he doesn't even understand what it's like to be an adult. And if you look at all of his friends are like 30. He doesn't hang out with anybody his age. All of our friends are like 30, 31 years old, like Justin Thomas and those guys. Right. He handles stuff like a child. This is like something a kid would do. Hey, you know what'd be funny? I'll send her to the Bahamas on the private jet. When we come back, we'll have the attorney give her this papers. That'll be a hoot. High five, bro.
But this is what fueled him to win all those majors, is what got him in this situation.
Exactly.
He hates losing.
Yeah,
you might be right there.
All right, 407-916-1041. Load them up. Let's do last call and get the hell out of Dodge.
Make us think or make it funny. Just make it good. Get on board now for last call on the Jim Colbert Show. 407-916-1041.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Overnight, we'll see clear skies, the low 66. There could be patchy fog far to the north. Tomorrow, a hot and sunny day, the high 91. For Wednesday and Thursday, a good chance for storms during the afternoon. High temperatures remaining in the 90s. We'll see drier conditions toward the end of the week. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Right now during Staples Free Tech Take-Back, Rewards members get $10 back in Staples Rewards when they recycle their tech. Ends June 3rd. Limit 1 reward per month. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details. Cut the cord on your old tech and recycle it at Staples.
Man, business owners, are you feeling the pressures of growing your business? Sure you are. It's tough out there. It's tough to maintain a momentum and still keep employees engaged. Here's the cool thing. Insperity can help. They put 35 years of HR experience to work, helping you with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance the entire time, giving your employees competitive benefit options. When your people thrive, your business can adapt and prosper. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Scalable HR, employee benefits, HR technology, that's Insperity. HR that makes a difference.
Turnpike Troubadours are coming to the Orlando Amphitheater Saturday, November 4th. On a long, hot summer day. With Blackberry Smoke. Plus Jason Boland and the Stragglers. Turnpike Troubadours tickets are available at 10 Friday through Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Turnpike Troubadours, Saturday, November 4th at the Orlando Amphitheater. Presented by Mammoth.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next-day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus Next Day Energy with melatonin plus extended-release B vitamins.
Has crossed, stuck in, Kyra! Oh, what a goal! Orlando City kicks off their U.S. Open Cup Championship defense this Tuesday at Charlotte FC. Watch the match on the CBS Sports Golazo Network, kicking off at 7 p.m. Then the Lions stay on the road for their next MLS regular season match, traveling to Ohio, taking on the Columbus Crew on Saturday, May 13th at 7:30 p.m. Tune in on FM 96.9 The Game and watch on any device on the Apple TV app.
Sharing your health story matters.
I knew since I was 5 years old that I wanted to be a nurse. I equated it to helping people and making them feel better. I am gently retired, but even though I'm not at the bedside, I'm able to do just as much work in the community. I've been fortunate to participate in All of Us.
Joining the All of Us research program means contributing to research that may help people of different backgrounds.
I received DNA genetic profiling that showed that my body metabolizes medicine slower than average. Now I had proof of what I've known about myself all along that are specific to me, to my genes. I'm sharing my story because if I can make a difference, then I'm all in.
Share your health stories today and help guide the discoveries of tomorrow. Learn more at joinallofus.org/NIH. Paid for by the All of Us Research Program.
You know that expression, the grass is always greener on the other side? Well, with Massey Services, it's literally true. Why? Because Massey does what the others don't. Every lawn is unique. So Massey starts with a detailed analysis and then builds a customized plan to prevent and control weeds, diseases, and harmful pests. Then they aerate to ensure water and nutrients reach the roots of your lawn. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
Everyone could use a little help with their bills, especially these days. At Duke Energy, we're offering easy ways to help keep your energy bills more manageable. With programs that allow you to pay the same amount each month or pay in installments. Plus, special financial assistance from the Share the Light Fund for those facing hardships. We're Duke Energy, and we're here to help you. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app. This is Lars. James from Metallica here. And this is iHeartRadio.
What's up? This is Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park.
We're the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
Welcome back. Dave and Herb here, and we're talking fresh.
Fresh from Florida, that is. Dave, tell our listeners about the produce that's in season.
There's tomatoes, broccoli, watermelon, freppers, spinach.
Wait, hold it. You're just putting fra in front of produce.
Yeah, as in fresh from Florida.
Produce tastes better when it's grown closer to home. You don't need to make up words.
Really?
Ugh, friends, visit followfreshfromflorida.com to see what's in season.
Don't you mean .from?
Ugh, really?
Sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250 keyword free heart scan.
The good news? You can watch us too. Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Radio 1041. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's only me and I walk alone.
407-916-1041. We do have two lines open for last call if you want to grab one of those. 407-916-1041. Call back. Make us laugh, something like that. That's what we want. It's your turn to entertain us. That's what we do this part of the show. Again, that's 407-916-1041. Give us a call. We have two lines open for last call. Grab one of those now, and we'll do it in just 1 second. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I am the Jim part. That's the Deb part.
Hello.
Jack part.
Good evening.
Ross part.
Jim part.
Big round of applause for our special guest on Mondays all the time, Mr. Ray Trinley.
Yay!
I really just wanted the opportunity to say, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, don't do it. Great segments today. Good stuff today.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Fascinating stuff. I love learning. I love learning as much as I love anything, and hearing perspectives from a professional on these things that I just think I may have figured out. It's cool to get it either confirmed or smashed, to be honest with you. Either way, I win because I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That logically that worked out the way I thought it would, or it blows my mind. Like that thing when we talked about with the sheriffs the other day, how they can say stuff that could be completely wrong, but they're protected. I mean, that still floors me to this day.
I'll tell you what, I had a really good time over the weekend when we were on the fishing boat, and you're talking about 72 hours on a boat with 8 other guys. there was a debate over whether or not you could have too much peanut butter on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, provided that the peanut butter and jelly are proportional.
Yes.
Can you have too much peanut butter? So I made two different people on the boat argue the sides as lawyers. We had 3 guys that were witnesses, and we did a whole trial over whether or not you could have too much peanut butter. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, too much peanut butter had to win. Because proportionally, the bread didn't get bought into play. And that matters, because if you have 2 pieces of regular white bread
He's right.
and then a ½ inch of peanut butter and a ½ inch of jelly, your peanut butter and jelly is not the problem. Your bread's the problem.
So the best witness argued that physics is the only limitation for how much peanut butter and jelly you can put on a sandwich. And I like the argument.
Good.
So you were the judge then.
I was the judge.
Who do we have to thank, Deb?
Well, we of course want to thank attorney Friendly Ray Trendley from TK Law, OneFirmForLife.com, as well as Brandon Kravitz from our sister station 96.9 The Game.
Plus our friends Sam and Candace over
Sam
there.
and Candace as well for running our YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Jack, I know we had a question of the day.
We had 2 of them, so let's fire through these. Do you or your kids plan on going to community college? Okay, let's see. So in the YouTube chat, that came up 60% yes.
Wow.
Either they went or their kids plan on going. Over on Twitter, at Real Radio 1041, 65% yes. So pretty similar. And then in the gym members, 62% yes. So all pretty similar.
Almost exactly, yeah.
And the second question that was posed was, do you own a business or plan to start one this year? Over on Facebook, 75% say no.
Wow. Really? Do you hear those numbers?
25% yes. And then, it's even worse on Twitter. 92% said no.
Yeah, business applications doubled in 2021.
I heard. And you know, I tend to agree with Ross a little bit on this. I mean, it is hard to have a dream if you're following somebody else's dream.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, good
that's
point.
Right. Yeah. But, a lot of people just get terrified of stepping out on that ledge sometimes because they get. My dad was one of those people. My dad never really would fully commit to his print shop because he had a family to take care of and he had to drive that truck. He tried to do both. And it's tough to do that because you just don't, again, you don't know. It's just unknown.
Leesburg, this Saturday, comedy show. I'm doing comedy, Leesburg.
All right,
Look me up on Eventbrite. It's happening.
Ross Padgett Comedy on all social media platforms. All the schedules. Get your tickets for that gig. I can't even believe it still has tickets.
Yeah, I know. They're running low.
All right, Stacy, last call. Stacy, last call.
Yes, hey, I forgot where I was.
That's okay. You do it all the time.
Yeah. Why are fish so smart?
I don't know. Why are fish so smart?
Because they live in schools.
Oh. I love how much she thinks it's funny.
I know.
That's my favorite thing of her calls. Yeah. She can barely hold it together
I know.
when she gets those punchlines out. That's the greatest thing ever. Chris, last call.
Can I get a Jim, Jack, and Dev to actually acknowledge that Ross is about to have the glutes of a god with a wiggle or a jiggle? It don't matter.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll give it.
Yeah, we're going to keep that gourd later.
He seems determined.
Get ready, Trendley.
He's going to ask you to touch him.
Mike, last call.
I love Mondays, Jim. You know why I love Mondays?
I have an idea.
Because I got Trendley. This is Mike. I'm totally joking with every fiber of my being. Buzzer Larson here. Let's go, Trendley. Trendley, I was mowing my grass this morning and accidentally ran over a frog or a fog. You know what happened then, Ray?
What happened next?
He croaked.
Oh, come on. Get out of here. You got to do better. Hey, look, when Ray's here, you got to do better. Nah, you really don't. It's fine. You can do whatever. Good job, buddy, as always.
Thank you.
One Firm for Life. Offices up in Altamont Springs. That's Ray Trendley from TK Law. Everything from estates to divorces. It's crazy. And everything in between. He can take good care of you, give you some good sage advice. Got attorneys that do a lot of things there at the firm. Again, that's OneFirmForLife.com. On behalf of Deb, Jack, Ross, and Ray, I am Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the Monsters in the Morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Laughs. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a wonderful Monday evening.
That's cute, Ross. Bye.